All right, and we are live with another episode of Comic Talk. This is episode 8, so everybody, welcome to Comic Talk. And of course, we have almost a full panel member here today, but nevertheless, this is some good stuff, and we're going to talk about a lot this week, today, I'm sorry. And I'm sure a lot of panel members are going to probably want to talk about Star Wars Force Awakens as well. So if you have not seen the movie, be expecting some spoilers. Probably. Yeah, well, expect some spoilers. And so let me go ahead and introduce the panel members. And we have got with us again Big E's, who enjoys collecting My Little Ponies and sometimes like taking naked moonlight walks on the beach. What's going on, Big E's?
I'm a brony undercover.
And then we also got with us again Funkmaster Celia. She also enjoys doing Muay Thai and combat training on her free time. What's going on, Celia?
I'm just recovering from all of the rigorous training.
And then, of course, we've got Kevin right here. Kevin often enjoys Underbasket Vegan every once in a while.
I have a feeling this is going to be a scary episode.
No.
And, of course, we've got Trevor from Rage Comics is back with us. Great to have you on again, Trevor.
Hey, good to be back.
That's a nice hat, by the way, brother.
Yeah.
So
we also got with us Chris from We Love Comics. He actually enjoys collecting vintage Barbie dolls on his free time. How's it going?
Even on my not-so-free time.
Go ahead.
No, I said I like to undress them and pretend they're biggies walking on the beach.
And of course, we got Ray Jr., my partner in crime here on the my co-host on the talk show. How's it going, brother?
What's going on, everybody? I'm waiting.
You actually got the applause this time.
No, I got it last week. You got the gong last week.
Oh, that's true.
Hey guys, so it's been I don't know. I guess it's been an okay week, guys. The big thing, as you guys know, for this week was the release of Star Wars 7, The Force Awakens. Did anybody here besides Kevin not get an opportunity to actually watch that?
Oh, was that out there?
I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah, I get to go on Tuesday. Unfortunately, it's hard when you have children.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you go at night, leave them at home while they're asleep.
Yeah, I have a little one though.
Oh.
I have a tiny little one.
Well, I will tell you, and I saw your review on it, Chris, and me personally, I really enjoyed it a lot. I really I loved it. I mean, I think for me, the expectation was there, so I definitely it was just one of those films that I got really emotional on. You know what I mean? For some of the parts that I saw, and I think J.J. Abrams really, kept the action going on that bad boy, man. And I'm trying not to push out a lot of spoilers since a lot of y'all haven't seen it, but that was my personal opinion. Like I said, I really enjoyed it a lot.
Well, with the respect to the two people that did not see it yet, I won't talk about any spoilers or anything like that. I don't want to ruin it for them because I know what that's like, and that just sucks when that happens. But considering I'm probably the oldest person on this panel, I went to see the original Star Wars when it came out in the movie theater in 1977. Made my father take me back to see it 7 times. Whoa. I saw Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I saw the 20-year anniversaries, all 3 of them. All the movies I saw the first day they came out. I had all the action figures. I was one of those people. I am diehard Star Wars all day, every day. I walked out of seeing this movie saying, visually stunning, but an average movie when it came to the story, because of the fact, the closest thing I will give away at all is it was almost a carbon copy of A New Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
That to me meant they played it safe. They they were so afraid that people would compare it to the prequels, they focused the majority of their effort on the visuals, which they did an outstanding job on. Visually, it is absolutely gorgeous. But the story, they rushed things. Certain things were predictable. And I walked away. And it wasn't just me. Everybody in the movie theater, when they walked out, I heard the same thing over and over again. What did you think? And I heard people say, it was good. So that's kind of the impression I have about that movie. So I made my reviews totally being from a person that's seen that movie, seen all of the movies, die-hard Star Wars fan, but I'm not a fanboy in the sense of I'm just going to love something just because it has something I like. So it's going to be watchable, but people, if they're expecting it to be the best movie, I would put it in the top 4 of all of the original movies that came out.
I mean, yeah, I definitely respect that. I definitely respect that. And what about you, Biggies? What did you think about it?
You know what? I expected. I think my expectations were higher. You know. Yeah, it's so hard to talk without spoiling moments, but visually stunning. There's no doubt about it. It had its moments. You know, where it like Chris said, they did mirror a lot of A New Hope, and you know, when you saw those moments, even though they were mirrored, you like, you know, you just feel funny about it. You know, you feel good about it. But they dropped the ball on a lot of little things like that they shouldn't have happened. Damn, I can't. I wish I can give details on it, but it didn't do for me what I thought it was gonna do, and I expected. This is not really a spoiler, but I haven't. It doesn't have a top lightsaber duel in that movie that we haven't seen yet.
I agree.
Other movies have better fight scenes than that one when it comes to the lightsaber fight.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was the best lightsaber fight, but it was definitely entertaining. I enjoyed it.
One thing I just want to say to anybody that's just coming in, there are a couple of people on the panel who have not seen the movie, so we're not going to do any spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. Yeah. It's even though it's been out for a while. My movie theater, I went today, 9 a.m. IMAX, sold out, line out the door. It was friggin' cold out today, too, and they were lined out outside, 9 a.m. It was crazy.
Here's the funny thing for me. I went to my local movie theater. I went the first day it came out at the 4:40 show. We got there 20 minutes before the movie started. I was first in line. There were a total of 17 people in the movie theater the first day it came out. Yep.
Yeah, pre-sale tickets already hit by Friday morning. They hit over $100 million on just the pre-sales alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the total amount I think came out to $238 million.
Yeah.
And then
biggest opening ever.
We're in the wrong businesses.
Yeah. So that'd be Jurassic World then, right?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys. For those of you who saw the movie, because a couple of people said this was like the greatest movie since sliced bread, which, I mean, it's a good movie, but I don't agree with that. And they said, especially in the past 10 years. Let me ask you this. How many of you think this movie was better than either Guardians of the Galaxy or the first Avengers movie?
Oh, no.
It's like you're in my brain, Chris. I don't know. I enjoyed both those movies more.
Yeah.
Right. And because
it came in behind those.
Yeah, because a lot of people were saying to me, it's like, oh, you know, when you reach a certain age, you don't have the expectations of movies you did as a kid. And I'm like, no, that's not true. When I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, I've seen that 24 times, and I could still watch it today and be excited about how good that movie was.
Exactly.
The soundtrack.
Exactly. The same thing with the Avengers movie. But when it came to this movie, I'm like, you know what? I saw it. I saw it in 3D. It was great. I'll see it when it comes back out on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean,
the Avengers Age of Ultron is on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm in agreement. It was good. Better than the prequels. Far better than the prequels.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, but I enjoyed it. It was a great experience. I had my wife, I had my nephews, and I had my father with me. So I had a nice family experience watching Star Wars with everybody that I care about. So as for that, but to go back to your Guardians of the Galaxy, it's funny that you mentioned that because when that new Star Trek trailer came on, all I kept on thinking was Peter Quill coming to Captain Kirk's ship saying, "You stole my mixtape." I mean, that trailer was awful. Awful.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's not Star Trek. That's not Star Trek.
I think what this is so many people were so afraid of this being like a prequel that anything that was going to be better than the prequel was going to be a godsend.
Yes.
So I think this went in the right direction. They did too many things too quickly. They did not establish the connections between the characters. There were certain things that I won't mention that should not have happened until at least the second movie.
Yeah.
I just felt like they rushed it for the sake of saying, here's some good stuff. We're going to throw all this important stuff right at you and, go smoke your cigarette.
Yeah, but they got 2 more films coming out. I know it sucks that they're stretching it out, but that's how I look at it. They're building it up.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
That's how I look at it.
I think they just, with knowing that they're making a total of 3 movies and who knows how many more they might continue, they could have had time to stretch this out. So not as many things had to have happened in this movie. They could have kind of made you fall in love with these characters a little bit more before certain things happened, in my opinion. I just feel like it's going on a date. To me, it's like going on a date, and the first hour you meet the person, you already slept with them.
You make that sound like a bad thing, Chris. I mean, and that's out of respect for everybody's opinions on the movie. I would tell you there was a lot of things I felt.
Stopped.
The force is not strong with you.
I keep locking up. You know what, guys?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. It's our oath. What are we gonna do? The show is lost without him.
Oh, my goodness.
See what happens?
I keep not strong with the internet tonight.
I keep locking up. So if I just keep locking up, just guys keep the feed going.
It's not you, dude. I'm locking up too, and I got full bars here. I got full signal and everything. But it's not you. I think it's just everybody's online talking about Star Wars. That's what it is.
That's what it is. What I was shocked about the movie, it's not a spoiler or whatever, I was like, wow, we got some more brothers. So Orlando was not the only black guy out in outer space. So they able to see Finn, and then
Finn was good.
He was good, and then
he was really enjoyable in that movie. Yeah.
What's the name of the new kind of R2-D2 with the soccer ball?
BB-8.
BB-8. That thing is cute. That's my wife said. It's cute.
The one thing I actually found funny is a lot of people are talking about that there's, like you said, an African American that's in the lead. When I watched the movie, I didn't even think about his color. I just thought it was just another person in the universe. I don't know why so many people have to make such a... No, I'm not saying you. I'm talking about the average person out there has to make such a big deal out of it when we should be at the point where they're people.
Yeah,
that's because Ray is racist. That's why.
I agree. It's not a big deal.
Ray.
I'm married to a white woman, and I'm racist.
Yeah, he's doing that for a reason. That's the reason why he's married to a white girl. You know what I mean?
White power.
Hopefully, I don't keep locking in and out, guys. Did anybody else get the chance? Oh, by the way, hey, let me introduce some of the guests that just came on. You guys already heard Marky, and then Gene Paul Ace Peter came on. Hey, Gene, how's it going? This is your actually your first episode. So this is your first. Yeah, this is your first appearance on Comic Talk. So this might be a big episode.
Welcome to the horror show.
Hello.
Welcome.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm part of the latter. I haven't seen Star Wars yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm just listening to you guys talk.
We won't tell you that Darth Vader's really a girl.
That's cool.
We won't spoil that.
No, I haven't been to a movie. I don't go to movies very often. I haven't been to a movie since Blair Witch Project, I think.
Oh.
Wow.
Was I born? I don't know.
Yeah.
The same with me. I haven't gone to a movie in probably almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And I had to go to this one.
You didn't saw Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, I saw them on my computer.
Oh, the big screens are
You're going to jail.
Ever since I got a Stubbs card, I've been going to every IMAX opening that I can get, especially on when they give away posters. If you look at my screen, they gave this poster out when I went to Star Wars today.
Oh, that's a nice poster.
Oh, okay.
It is. It is.
You know, I was hoping they would give. I saw somebody got an opening day comic book, and then my theater didn't give nothing out. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
It's all depending on the promotion. This I didn't even know about, so I just bought like everybody else, bought their pre-sale tickets when they went on sale. I choose today, and this is what they gave me. I said, "Ooh, look at this, a freebie."
Nice. How much were the tickets in each of your movie theaters that you went to? What did they charge you?
$10 and change. I got the matinee IMAX.
Anyone else?
Mine's were $18 each.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
NYC.
12 bucks.
Out by me, I got the show. We saw it at 3D. We paid $8 a ticket.
What?
Oh.
Yep. And that was in 3D.
Yeah, our 3D
mine's just
Canada
mine's
here
just 3D also.
Yeah, mine was
$18 a piece.
IMAX 3D. It cost me $11.49. Here it is. There's the stub.
Verification.
I'm
That's
going
all
with
right.
my dad, so mine's going to be free.
There you go.
But
If-
it's going to be
Everybody
like
felt
the
the same way
theaters
about
up here. We
Star
have like the recliner seats and stuff. So
If
I'm
you-
excited. And 3D.
I was going to say, if you're going to see it in 3D. That was actually the first 3D movie I've seen probably since Jaws 3 in 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I saw Jackass in 3D.
Oh, jeez. There are certain things you don't want to see in 3 dimensions.
There really
Some
is.
3D has been good. If they film it in 3D with the 3D cameras and not do that post-conversion crap, you're going to get crappy 3D. If they film it with actual 3D lenses, they make it look good.
Oh, this was visually.
Visually was great. This was great. They used IMAX cameras and stuff like that with this. So.
The only visual that I will say was bad, and I won't say who it is, but one of the. Well, let's put it this way: a person that was sitting in a specific chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
That looked so fake. It actually, even my wife said, "What the hell is that?" She couldn't even take it seriously. So that was the only bad thing visually. And you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Worse than the pier. You know the pier in the episode. I don't remember the flying pier, and the president just take a bite out of it. So ugly.
Well, the guy visually looked, and he made Jar Jar Binks look good.
You know what? It was more. They didn't really heavily use CGI like they did with the prequels. That was the one thing I liked. They used a lot of practical effects.
See,
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind what I seen. I mean, yeah, some things you can say, okay, that stood out. But overall, I was locked in my seat from that first crawl of the credits, telling you what's going on. I was locked in. I mean, literally, I had to go to the bathroom for like an hour. I held it. I couldn't leave. I didn't care what happened.
I definitely held mine. I held mine the entire movie because I thought it was that good, to be honest with you. I really thought it was that good. I love the way they introduced the characters. I love the way how they throw some nostalgic moments in there.
Yes.
Especially that one part when they were running to go to the ship to get away from the TIE fighters. And,
that was good, yeah.
Yeah, and Finn makes the comment, "Hey, how about that ship?" And she goes, "No, it's a piece of junk." And they blow up the ship. And, yeah, this is a total spoiler. And then she looks over to the right. I guess it's the junk it is, you know. So I absolutely love that, you know. And that's what I mean by the magic moments. You know, it's just, and there's so many things that pop up, like a lot of the props that you see in there are just, you know, it kind of just takes you back.
Yeah, and oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and that's what I agree with, visually, the fact that they did a lot of the special effects without all the CGI. That's why that one particular thing, one particular character in there stands out so much. I think if they would have done like what they did in The Lord of the Rings, where they projected regular people to look either taller or smaller than they were, if they would have used that character in that way, I think it just would have came across better. I couldn't take that character seriously because it looked so fake.
Okay. Well, I think that was, well, I know what you're talking about, but I think when they actually showed you what that was, and you got to wait till the next film.
Right.
That's how I looked at it. But you're talking about the dude in the chair, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was just a hologram, though. It wasn't like...
Yeah, that's not a spoiler.
Yes.
You could say that. It was a
Yeah.
hologram, so the hologram was made to be bigger than the actual character.
Yeah, I got worried with that too. I was like Chris. I'm like, oh God, no, I don't need no, you know. And then when they revealed that, I'm like, oh, thank you. So
Well,
I think,
I
okay,
actually-
I'm gonna learn more about him probably in the second film.
I wouldn't have minded at all as far as the size they tried to portray him. I actually thought that was different and refreshing. That was what I would have thought would have been the more original character in the movie. So when I actually found out it was actually a hologram, I was actually disappointed because seeing him as, in the stature that he was, it made him look, oh my God, this is a scary character. I mean, how are you going to fight something that huge? And then when I found out it's actually just a hologram, then I'm like, all right, it's just another person that looks kind of deformed.
Well, well, according to Star Wars lore and all that, that creature is immune, and he's kind of tall, so you know he's not big like that, but we're gonna learn more about him. I mean, right now everybody who have seen it are already speculating who that is and everything like that. I don't want to go through that for the people that have seen it yet. Maybe next time when we get on the subject, everybody has seen it. And we can give away some stuff and start really chowing down on it maybe for one comic talk day. But I'm really locked in now, and I'm like, oh God, here I go again. You know, so I
some of you guys,
the next one.
Some of you guys have homework assignments.
Hey, also, man, you know, besides the whole Star Wars thing, they had asked support if, you know,
who brought the chicken?
Yeah, what was that? Hey, he's actually looking at revisiting the character from the Blade Runner. You guys remember the Blade Runner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
what,
man,
what a surprise! A remake.
That was an absolutely. I used to watch that movie all the
Sequel.
time. Absolutely loved it.
They're doing a sequel.
Oh, they're doing a sequel. They're not doing a remake.
They're not doing a remake. They're doing a sequel.
Oh,
That's
thank God.
refreshing.
I don't know
Thank
how
God.
they're going to do it. Harrison, they're
years
going to
ago.
keep metal doors away from Harrison Ford when they're filming this one, or they'll break the other leg.
Yeah.
So what did Blade Runner's the classic that should have been remade already?
I have a question for the panel, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
What do you guys think? I'm gonna change I'm gonna change the subject a little bit because it's hard to really talk about Star Wars without spoilers.
I agree with you.
But what do you guys think of this week of the Submariner?
I
The
told
Squadron
people
Supreme,
about,
because that came out on Wednesday.
yeah, I told people about a month ago to get that comic.
And I got it, and I thank you for telling me that.
There's a movie about it?
No,
Is that the number one that just came out?
Yeah, the Squadron Supreme. Yeah, when they killed him off in that comic.
He got a little head in that episode.
Yeah, they actually decapitated him.
That was brutal.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler. That costs $2.99. You can go get it.
I guess I'll pick that up. I saw it at that local comic book store I go to, but I was like, it's not bag and boarded, and I don't have none right now until they come in the mail, so I'll just wait probably.
I've never been a Submariner, a big fan of Submariner, so I thought it was interesting that they killed him off and how they killed him off. But it didn't really do anything to me, to be honest with you. Not like who got killed. That kind of left me emotional, if you guys know what I mean.
I wasn't actually too emotional about that. I actually saw that coming, and that should have been one of the things I'm talking about that should be in part 2 of this trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
That came out of left field. You didn't establish the connection between certain characters, so you didn't get the feel for something like that it should have had. I was actually that part, right, because I know exactly what you're talking about. To me, that was the most disappointing part of the movie, is that should have been more epic, and it should have been more heart-wrenching, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
I agree.
I want to.
Well, we're still talking about that. I thought we was moving on.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the Squadron Supreme, Chris. Actually, everybody on the panel. Do you think the reason why they did that is because Marvel doesn't really have a hold on that character yet?
I believe
Absolutely.
so. That's why they did it with Wolverine, and they quit making the Fantastic Four books because
Yeah.
they want to try to pry it away from Fox.
If they don't want to give them any extra revenue, so they're trying to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So this way, they might hope they get them back.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I
Really?
looked at it. I mean, honestly, that's how I really looked at it. It's like, okay, he's really not doing anything. He gets thrown in this storyline, that storyline, and you know what? We're gonna cut him off and
Literally.
we'll put him on the shelf, and we'll bring him back later. Once
That's
we
it,
get
I mean, but couldn't they Marvel actually use him considering he was an Avenger for a hot minute?
I
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
know. I don't know who. I think Universal may have some of the rights still to them. I don't know if they, because they always say, "Are you going to bring in the Submariner?" And they keep on saying, you know, whatever I read, they said, it's a little difficult than you think. That's what they say. But who the hell knows?
It all-
Well, they got to make an Aquaman movie, so how difficult can it be?
Well, it
Yeah.
all boils down to money, because what are they going to make more money on? The fact that Submariner joins the Avengers, or the fact that they kill him?
I had a similar question earlier this week. You know, how between rights of characters, like for example, Ronan the Accuser, he started in the FF, in the Fantastic Four, but he's in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. How are we able to use that character?
Well,
and you know,
the
how are
way
we
they-
able to use him?
I
The
think
way-
it was the same way that because of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, because they were crossed between books. And so I guess that was maybe one of the contract things that say you can use him.
the way the contracts worked is, like, that's how they were able to do, like, the Hulk in the Avengers, is
Right.
as long as they did not have individual movies, you could put them in team kind of movies. That's why you saw him in Guardians of the Galaxy. So, and that's why you saw the Hulk in the Avengers. If they don't own the rights, so they could not make a Incredible Hulk movie a standalone. So as long as they put him in with a team, it still would qualify for them to be able to do it.
Right, but they're all profiting on it. I mean, I'm sure because they needed the Hulk for the Avengers, so they know they made in some deal with Universal and all that. Because even though it says Universal on it, they still, Marvel Studios did make the movie. And now that, you know, like you said, I don't think they can make a solo Hulk film because it has to say Disney, and Universal's like, we still got a piece of him, but you can do only team up.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I'm
true.
pretty sure Universal will go along with like what Sony did. Sony is partnering with Marvel to use
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I
Because
hope
they know they make money.
If there's any
And that's what
invisible
Fox
army-
needs to do. Instead of
Fox
just
is
sticking
never
around
going to do
screwing
it.
up movies.
Fox will never do it.
Yeah, I bought that new Fantastic Four, and I watched it, and I wanted to toss it. It was just so horrible.
I wanted my $11.49 back. That's what I wanted.
Hey, have you guys? I want to change subject here.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched the 12 Days of Deadpool?
Yeah.
Do you
No, I didn't
guys
see all of them.
watch this every single day? I've seen few of them, and they're hilarious. And oh my god, this movie is gonna be so great!
The marketing team for this movie is amazing.
yeah.
They're hitting it out of the park. They're doing exactly what they need to do.
They have the character who can do everything he possibly can, and he's gonna get away with it. He can sniff a gun and say he's gonna touch himself, and yeah, that's good. It's Deadpool. Who gives a fuck? It's Deadpool.
They're nailing it with the promotion with this
Oh,
film.
yeah.
I mean, this is what they needed to do, especially for an R-rated character and us talking about the comic community. We know who he is. Other people don't. So they're really marketing this perfectly. Everybody I can hear. Oh, who's this? Oh, that trailer was funny. Oh, I can't wait to see this. You know, so I think it's going to do very good, and they're doing it the right way. So I hope to God it's good.
One other thing I'm pretty sure that's very good for them is Deadpool was created in the 90s.
Yes.
You know, kids like me, I'm like 21. I know Deadpool, and you know, for instance, Ant-Man. It's way back in the days. Some great, and you know, if you really know comic books, you're gonna know Ant-Man. But if you're pretty new in the community and you don't want to go into the old thing, being able to see the new character and Deadpool. Ant-Man just got his movie last year, and Deadpool is like, what, 20 years old? 20, 30, I don't know. It already has a movie.
Yeah, but Ant-Man's not no big hero, though. Granted, he created Ultron, true story, not
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's not.
But
Yeah.
you know, he's like one of the original Avengers.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
But he's like a
looks
he's like a sidekick, so he ain't really gonna get no movie right away. He's not no big star. He's what, C-list maybe?
and he's not even the original Ant-Man.
No,
yes,
he's
Hank
not.
Pym.
Hey, I
Hank
got a
Pym
question. I got a question.
Go.
So when in the Avengers, when Tony made Ultron, did that bother anyone else?
It bothered me.
It
Yes,
bothered me.
I don't like when they change the origins, but I can understand why they do it for movies to help the newer people understand easier.
Because
As for someone who didn't follow those comics religiously, I'm more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy, but I've known the story. I didn't. For me, I didn't mind it. Now, tell me that when they do this Batman vs Superman film and how much they change, because I live and breathe the DC stuff, then I might have a different answer. But I can understand how people say, "Oh, why did they do that? They could have done this. They had the character. They had the rights. Maybe, like you said, maybe at the time when they were getting everything together, they never even remotely thought about doing an Ant-Man film or anything with Ant-Man. They were just lucky just to get these guys together in one film. So who knows what their thinking was. Now that they got everything all ready to go and we're getting ready for Phase 3, I'm sure they're going to maybe try to stick more to the comic lines as best they can with the characters and the rights that they have with people.
exactly.
What do you guys think about what about favorite storylines, story arcs, whether it be Silver Age, Modern Age? What do you guys love? You know,
Mine,
not just one comic book, but like an entire storyline.
Well, mine would be All-Star Squadron. I know Marky said he's a DC guy, and All-Star Squadron was like my favorite comic group from DC in the 80s. And, you know, it had a lot of different storylines, but the one that really, you know, I really enjoyed when I was reading growing up was the fact that they entered the race thing about it, as in they had this character, which come to find out he was a robot at the end when he got beat up, was named the Real American or something, and he was like racist, and it took place in Detroit. So he was battling Will Everett, which is known as the Amazing Man. So I like that storyline because it, like, you know, opened up my eyes as a young kid, saying, wow, it actually exists in comic books as well, you know.
Did anybody ever read Atlantis Attacks?
No.
I did. Back
Yeah.
in the days, yes, back in the late
Back
80s.
in the days, yeah. For its time period, I mean, it was 1988 or something like that. It,
Yeah.
It was an interesting read back in the day, the crossover element to it and everything else. It was a fun read.
I
Well,
agree about that.
one of my favorites was the Nightfall run.
Okay. Yes.
All 19, the first, not Night Quest, the first 19 issues
Yes.
of
the big-
Nightfall.
yes.
That was one of my favorite, because I used to watch the Batman cartoons back in the day, and then I had an older kid tell me, you know, they broke Batman's back, and I said, what are you talking about? They broke Batman's back. And that's when I went to the comic store and I started finding all the issues, and that got me into reading more of the storylines.
I thought yours would have been the Angel series, actually, Enrique, because I remember one of your videos too.
Yeah.
YouTube you did before. You really was hyped about that.
Wait, is
Oh,
that
but
those,
that was when I was a
those
little
books?
older. Yeah, the hardcover books, the Angel.
Those are
That was when I was
awesome.
older. Yeah, those are nice books. I got into that a little older. When I got into based on the TV show first. So I was already, that TV show came out in what, the late 90s, early 2000s. So I graduated from high school in 98. So that was, I was already 18, 19 years old when that show came out.
Youngster.
The Nightfall show came out when I was a teenager.
Cool. Ray, speaking about All-Star Squadron, the book I only read was this one, as you can see here.
Oh, the Dr. Fate.
I love that comic. I love that comic so much. This is actually the comic I bought when I was a kid. It's still the same one.
What's that grade on it? 3.5?
No, the 3.5 is my showcase 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just wish they never discontinued that group.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, and for my storyline, the one that I really got invested was this one. This got me back in the comics. The good old death of Superman.
Oh.
That got me
The
back.
death of Superman.
The
Yeah,
bloody
that got me
symbol.
back into it. But the one before that was Crisis on Infinity Earths. Then I went to Death of Superman. Then Nightfall, and then Emerald Twilight when Green Lantern lost his shit. That was just wow.
I think there was also another. You guys remember Green Arrow and Green Lantern? I think it was number 26.
Neil
when they
Adams. Yeah.
Oh,
the-
this one? Hold on.
when they
I got it
dig
here.
into the whole racism thing, and it was
Drugs.
just kind of, yeah,
There you go. Right
really
here.
iconic.
That's it.
Yep.
Yep, that's the
I
one.
love that cover. I love that cover.
Yeah, that I am trying to get a hold of that right now.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me put this away then. Hold on. Not for sale. Not for sale. Sorry.
Well, when
It's an iconic book.
It is.
Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil, when they were working on that book, Denny O'Neil caught a lot of flack for doing that series because they were just breaking down so many boundaries, and they were trying to write a comic book for the new collector, the new reader. They realized that it's not for kids anymore. A lot of people reference Amazing Spider-Man 121 as changing, bringing a darker side to the Bronze Age, or to comics in general. But Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil's work on that title, that revolutionized comics, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have that whole hardcover series, all the Green Lantern, Green Arrow, done by Neil Adams and everybody. Tremendous stories, broke boundaries, broke grounds, and amazing work. Amazing work.
And I think another I could say is Frank Miller did a lot of those where it just kind of was ahead of his time, especially with a lot of the covers and a lot of the artwork he did back in the was it the late 70s, I think it was.
Who was that?
Frank Miller. When he did the Batman run?
That's first appearance of Mr. Freeze, right?
Yes, that's the first appearance of Mr. Freeze, issue number 121, graded 5.4.
He doesn't
Nice.
look like the Arnold Schwarzenegger I grew
Oh,
up with.
screw that.
Please.
You want to talk about helping piss me off, it was him.
Yeah.
I said chill.
Another
Time to breathe.
key issue right there, and probably another one would be the first appearance of Scarecrow,
Oh.
and then of course
Don't tell me you
first
got that
appearance
one, Mark.
of Poison Ivy as well.
Hold on, I got those.
Oh shit.
Oh,
I know,
Ray.
Yo, what's up, Chris?
Scarecrow, Silver Age. I have Silver Age Scarecrow.
Check this out.
And hold on, it's coming. I know it's back here.
Nice.
Hold on.
That's what she
nice.
said.
Yeah. All right, wait. Here's a Batgirl. Hold on, I'm getting to it.
Oh, no.
Oh, mine's graded though.
Oh, Raja Ghul. Getting there.
Oh, nice. Yes, very nice.
There we go. Poison Ivy. Right there.
Fucker.
You know, such amazing covers
To
right
talk,
there.
to
Great.
talk about what
Hey,
you guys
this
were
is
talking
my
about-
all-time favorite.
Oh,
Love
that's
that.
the
about what
first
you guys
Silver
were
Age
talking
Joker
about
return.
earlier, though. You were talking about the death of Submariner or something in a recent book that was coming up, and
Yeah.
it just
Squadron
got me
Supreme.
thinking about any of you guys have a book in particular that, or a death of a character that really left an impact on you? For me, it was Incredible Hulk 161, and this is the death of Mimic, and Mimic actually throws himself, and Beast tries to fight off Hulk and defend Mimic, and Mimic just says, you know what, it's not worth it after. It's like the ultimate friendship book. This is like, it's actually emotional to read this book here.
I think for me, Gene, there was two. One of it was Bellet from Conan the Barbarian series, The Death of Bellet. I remember reading that very young, at a very young age, so that was very emotional. If you especially if you started and followed the storyline between her and Conan, and the other one was Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, The Death of the Black Cat, when she actually died on that series. So that was another one too that I thought was really emotional seeing those characters die. Of course, we know Black Cat comes back, but however, Bellet never came back. You know.
Mine had to be with the Crisis Infinity Earths, the Death of the Flash. That one hit me hard.
Yeah, that one. I was just gonna mention. I was actually gonna mention the Supergirl when the cover
Both of
of
them,
the
both
issue when
covers.
Superman.
Yes,
Yeah.
both one hit me hard. I
Yeah,
can't
those
believe
covers
right.
very emotional.
That the Flash, and then they did in Supergirl, and that cover is just like agonizing to even look at. When I was a kid, I was devastated. I was like, "Oh my God, this can't happen."
We've got Russell Hall, whatever. The death of Flash, he says in the comment.
I think for. Oh, go ahead.
I think mine would have been a two-part series, Amazing Spider-Man 121 and 122.
Oh,
which is
Gwen
the death,
Stacy.
Yep, the death of, I love
That's
that
mine
because
too.
it made Peter Parker have to make a choice.
Oh, I got that.
And that was, to me, so realistic. And it was the first time he actually wanted to kill somebody. So the death of Green Goblin in 122. So I think you can't have one without the other because they so go together. But I think that one had the biggest impact for me growing up.
Yeah, definitely emotional now.
For me, I think it was Eddie Bloomberg in Teen Titans. When he died saving the city from I think it was some radioactive man. Like he like crashed the jet or something into that guy and died. And it was like right after he lost his powers, and he had pretty much been thought of as useless. And while everyone else is off saving the world, he's like sitting there, and the city's getting destroyed, and he's gotta man up. And he does, but he doesn't make it out alive.
I think another one that impacted me was a recent one and was responsible for getting me back into comics again after about 25 years, and that was Amazing Spider-Man 700.
Oh, really?
When Peter Parker, when they take his mind and it goes into Dr. Octopus, so Peter Parker basically dies in that way. I thought that was such an original, like it was like heart-wrenching for me to have a character that I grew up with to die in that way and have somebody else actually continue being him and no one would know the actual Peter Parker was dead. So I really like that.
No,
Yeah, he became the Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting take on that one.
Did you read
they did
Superior
good
Spider-Man?
with that story.
I loved that.
Superior one?
Yeah, I loved it. It was amazing straight through to me.
I need to read it. Superior Spider-Man.
Oh, Superior Spider-Man?
Yeah.
No, I haven't read any of those.
Mine would be Thor 353. When Odin died, well, I don't say he died, but he jumped in the fire with a surfer at the end of the book. What I liked about it is the fact that, Thor and Loki, Loki joined the battle with Thor and Odin to fight the Surther, or however you say his name, and it showed you that, he actually cares for Odin and Thor for him to go join that battle. And then when Odin disappears at the end, then they both said father at the end, like he was like heartbroken. So I like that storyline.
Right? That's a good pick.
My one would be more recent because I've been following the series since #1. But it's when Spawn died, the original Al Simmons. I know spoiler, he's back, but when he died, it was very random because it didn't seem to serve a huge purpose, and now they've kind of
Issue
gotten
250
rid of whatever happened, and he's back and he's the same as he always was. So for me, it was just odd to see that happen for no reason, essentially.
Notice that no one picked the Death of Superman issue.
They brought him back too fast.
Well, like I said, that one brought me back to comics because I was done. I wasn't getting anything when I was out of high school, and then when they did that, I said, "Oh my God, they killed Superman! Oh, I got to get this," and I've been hooked back in since then, and I haven't stopped. I mean, a little here and there, but now, as I'm at right now I'm just like, I get certain stories that are coming out with some good stuff that I like to get, and
Yep.
And that's about it. I mean, the movies are great too. So.
The funny part for me, it was actually the opposite. That actual issue, and then when they brought him back in the next issue, that was actually when I stopped collecting comic books.
Well, Superman made it big. He even made it on the news when they said the death of Superman. That's pretty good on the news.
When grandparents knew about it, you knew they overdid it.
Yeah, it was what was funny about that era that my mother never, did anything about comic. My mother only spoke Spanish, and she comes out of nowhere. It was one time we were watching the news, and she said, "Mataron a Superman."
All I gotta say is when I seen this cover, when I seen this, I was like, no effing way. And when I read it, and I was like, okay, that I actually read this comic first, and then went back to the beginning on how Doomsday came and everything like that. So that's how I got back into it.
I still have my original bagged comics. I should have sold them the day after they came out.
Yeah.
They're still got some value. Like this one I got here. This one's actually the newsstand print. If you can see the barcode on the corner, these are more rarer than the regular comic ones with just the little writing on them. I think the newsstand ones are a lot more rarer because comic stores didn't get them. Gas stations got them. 7-Elevens got them. They're gonna get beat up and stuff. And to get a 9.8, which this one is pretty tough.
By rare for that comic, you mean 2 million copies.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm
and 1 million of those are still in high grade.
Myself, because I love the cover and I like newsstand copies. That's just my little quirk with these things.
The thing with modern comics is the collectability of them. For instance, there's 2 million copies and 1.5 are high grade. Whereas with Silver Age comics, there might be a print run of 20,000 and 2,000 are high grade. So, it's a weird little game you play there when you're speculating on new modern comics, right?
I totally agree.
Yeah, especially the ones now that they're coming out with. It's tough to speculate of what's going to be hot and what's going to be how many printings. And, it's like this Superman 75. There were tons of them. They made second printings, third printings, fourth printings. There's tons of them out there. It's just basically what the collector wants, or what if they ever bring up anything. Which I don't know how they're going to do it now with bringing in Doomsday with this film. I don't know if they're ever going to do the storylines, but I tell you, if they ever do, these comics might go up. Who knows? We don't know. We all speculate.
Speaking of that Doomsday, I'm seeing rumors that he's not the only villain that's in it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too.
We're talking about Darkseid.
Ooh. That would be too early.
Yeah, they're too early. I thought, but that's just a rumor, so I'm hoping it's not true, so that way he can play in with the Justice League movie that they're doing.
Yeah, but if you know how Hollywood operates, they don't care about too early. They care about money.
Yeah.
Well, DC probably because they're trying to compete with Marvel because they know they got to hit it right on the head with this one to compete.
It's too late. It's too late. We have almost, I don't know, 8 years. They have 8 years behind. Marvel already has the cinematic universe. Every single movie they're gonna create gonna be a part of it. But now DC is they want to rush Justice League, but we haven't seen any Cyborg movie, any Green Lantern single movie, any. But they just
you saw Green Lantern. You saw Green Lantern.
We just want to forget Green Lantern. Let's be real.
Now there's no Green Lantern.
Yeah,
and
but
is out Batman. So come on.
Do you think a lot of these smaller characters should have their own movie though, or should they just be guests on bigger movies? Because I
would say guests on bigger movies because starting out and then going to their single movie. If people are commenting saying, "Oh, I like that character, this and that," how he was in that movie, then maybe they can go with a single movie. But to give them one right off the bat and only people like us that might know who the character is, it probably won't work.
But just think about Jessica Jones and the TV show. I never heard of Jessica Jones in my life before the TV show.
Yeah, but the problem is DC makes their movies so dark and so one-dimensional, there's not going to be that same excitement like half the Marvel movies can get away with. So unless they change their format, because if you do a cyborg movie where no one really knows who he is and makes this dark thing going on, like they do with every DC movie, it's going to get the hardcore fans, but everybody else is not going to relate to that character, and it won't be successful.
They might make him a little funny considering his attitude on Teen Titans. They might change it up.
Not only that, it's
like Shazam might not even be serious because The Rock, and then it's the Shazam, Billy Batson. There might be some jokes in there. So
yeah, I agree with Ray there because DC gets this rep as being dark and brooding and everything, but they're doing Batman. Batman is dark and brooding, and that's really all.
Yeah.
And not all the films were dark in the beginning, guys.
Green Lantern tried to be fun. Shazam has to be fun. If Shazam's not fun, then kill DC. I mean,
I agree.
They stand no chance.
Yeah,
Flash has to be fun.
It was called Batman and Robin.
But look what they did to Superman. I mean, to me, Superman is the all-American hero. He's supposed to be loved, supposed to be full of color. He's supposed to be this larger-than-life character, and they basically reduced him to a sidekick almost.
Yeah, you know what I think is that their most successful franchise to date, I think, was the Dark Knight trilogy, and it was dark. It was dark. Before that, I believe was the original Superman movies from 1979.
The Christopher Reeve ones.
So everybody's based in their...
that first Batman with Michael Keaton was pretty on point.
Oh, no, that too.
Those first two, but they were dark movies also.
Yes.
So their more successful movies were the dark movies, so they're going to try to stick with what's working for them.
Yeah, with the Superman, what you was talking about, the first two was on point, but when they got bringing in Richard Pryor and then doing that... radioactive man or nuclear man. I give it that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's when Hollywood just milks something dry. That's what they're famous for.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the first darkest movie I saw, comic book related, was Road to Perdition. Tom Hanks.
Oh, Road to Perdition?
Yeah, that was pretty dark.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Tom Hanks?
Yeah, it was Tom Hanks. That was based off
yeah.
of what? Correct me if I'm wrong. A graphic comic or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the true test for DC is going to be the Flash movie. It's going to be Shazam. I mean, can they break their mold of dark and brooding? And that's where they're going to go with it.
The Flash movie, they shouldn't have Ryan Reynolds play the Flash though. That's my opinion because the way he is. They shouldn't have had him play Green Lantern. He would have been good playing Flash.
Yeah.
Because his personality or whatever. But
even Green Lantern, that movie, even though it was a flop, it wasn't dark and brooding. It was trying to be fun. It didn't really get there, but it was trying.
Ryan Reynolds has a lot to prove in this Deadpool movie because his first Deadpool sucked. His Green Lantern sucked, and when he was in Blade and he was Hannibal King, he wasn't any good neither. So he doesn't have a good track record with superhero movies.
He wasn't his fault on that first Deadpool, though. That was Fox fucking up.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead and sew his mouth up and give him Wolverine's claws, whatever. They messed that up. That wasn't his fault. He just got a check.
Yeah. I think he nailed it on this one. If we've seen anything from the promotion things that are doing for Deadpool, it's just off the wall him. And I think he owned this character, and I think he nailed it. And I think we can forget about Green Lantern right now because as much as I'm a Green Lantern fan I was pissed off with that film. If they would have just kept it more into the space thing and left the grounded shit lower, there was too much grounded stuff. He's a space cop. Get the core. Get the whole war going. Get the whole thing with him and Sinestro battle. We didn't need the yellow monster, whatever. They screwed up Parallax. They screwed up everything. And I was like, they screwed this up. But then when they showed that last scene at the end, I thought, okay, I can wait for the second film. And, of course, that didn't happen because it didn't make enough money. So.
But you know what?
I liked Green Arrow.
What?
I liked Green Arrow.
Nice comment.
Marty, where's your beer? What's going on?
Hey, I don't often drink, but when I do.
But guys, I'm pretty sure for the Deadpool movie, the next Deadpool movie, I'm 100% sure he's gonna make a reference to the X-Men Deadpool in any way, like he did with the Green Lantern. Don't make my suit animated or green.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm pretty sure
he's
gonna
definitely
make
gonna do that.
No, they've already done that.
Yeah, his first trailer.
Yeah, he's like from the studio that inexplicably sewed his mouth up the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your prediction already came true. Good one.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for Ryan Reynolds. I think that his like comedic timing is so perfect for the Deadpool character. Just him in general, like everything that I've seen is so natural, and I don't know if that comes because he said before that he's like a huge Deadpool fan himself. So he knows, you know what I mean? I know everybody does like research on their characters, but to be, you know, a fanboy or whatever. So everything that I've seen, I feel like it's just so natural, so, you know, effortless. Like his punchlines, his humor, and even just the way he looks all wrinkled up. I mean, it's just perfect.
He was made for that part.
Brian
think
Poisson
so.
is a big Deadpool writer. Does anybody know if he's going to have much of an influence or a production nod in the movie?
They'll probably just get a name and a credit. That's about it.
And I've noticed too that not a whole lot of people are actually even acknowledging that Colossus is going to be in the movie. I mean, Colossus,
I've
seen him.
and he looks like he's going to be done right. Like I'm pretty excited to see Colossus done right.
Domino? Was the girl Domino?
I don't think she's Domino. I think that's that UFC fighter. What's her name?
Ronda Rousey.
No, not the knockout artist.
Gina Carano's playing that girl. I don't think she's going to be Domino.
Gina Carano's playing? Oh, I gotta go see that.
Yeah, it's the scene. It's the scene where he's lying on the bed and he's like called her Posh Spice and she punched him.
Hey, Jean Paul Ace Peter, that was Giant Size X-Men #1, first appearance of all the X-Men together. Very nice, right there.
Yeah.
You guys saw that.
No, that's definitely a grail
probably
book.
read that tonight. I don't have any slab books. I like taking my books out and reading them.
That's cool, man.
Just don't sneeze.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of books I've actually ruined from reading them, and they kind of have a funny story to them now, but yeah, I don't let my daughter touch them or anything. But,
everybody... No, I'm sorry. Everybody has their own collecting ways. You know, either I like them loose or I got some graded. The only ones I grade is that I know that I like them and I want to preserve them, and I know they're going to be worth something.
I tell you, that was a good input you had as far as putting those color labels on top of your key issues or different issues. I definitely got. As a matter of fact, I went out and bought some color labels today to kind of.
Yep.
I've got another hack video coming up with a couple of different ideas too that I use.
And I like those hack videos. You know, I would have never thought about putting a beer container, inside of your box to keep them from actually moving around. So that was actually a good idea. I like those hack videos. You know, I like getting those ideas.
Yeah, I like to recycle when I collect.
Hey Ray, when you get a chance, check out the thing that I just won on eBay the other day.
Go ahead, Celia. What did you say?
I put the link there.
Oh, I was just saying I'd be interested to hear what everybody's comic book quirks are. You know, like what's something that you think that you do when you're either collecting or reading that, you know, sets you apart, or what you think.
Good question. Good question.
What was the question?
Well, I used to, I was just saying, like, maybe what's your comic book quirks? What's something that you do that you think is unique to you, like whether you're collecting or reading? Well, I used to have a binder that I would just have sleeves in, you know, like the protector sheets, and I would stick all of my comic books that I was reading in those, and so I wasn't taking them in and out of bags and boards, and that's how I would keep up and know which one I was reading at that time, and then when I was done, they'd go out and...
Yeah. Now this is what I do whenever I get newer books. I will keep them outside of the box, and when I'm done reading them, I'll throw them in the box. And so they just kind of build up until I finish in the box. So that's kind of my quirk.
What I personally do is I have a box of comic that I need to read. It's a small box, and when I've read the comic, I move it out and place in my regular boxes. But other than that, yeah, there's comic everywhere. That, like, I don't know. But most of the time, I read my comics in the subway. I know I shouldn't, but yeah, the wait is cool. I have nothing to read.
Yeah. I'm like Marty. I'm the same thing. I have a little short box, and I already got dividers on depending on what storyline I'm getting. I read it, I put it in a bag and board, seal it, put it in the box. When that box gets filled up, I put them in order or whatever in my long boxes that I got, and then if I start up again, I start up again. But depending on the storyline, if I want to continue getting some books here and there.
Yeah, if I go back because like I'll go back and reread things before I pick up my next book. So by having them, I need to start doing that again actually, because right now I just have them very. I think it'd probably give some people a heart attack to see the way I keep some of my issues right now. But like, because it made it so easy because I would just pull out my book and I'd have it in there, and then if I was going to read my next one, then I wouldn't have to go because I can't having little kids is really really hard to keep books in a place where they can't get to them or you know exactly. So it's kind of it's so hard. I always joke about that being a parent and collecting things that kids love. Like, no, you can't touch those toys. Yes, that book has cartoon characters on it, and it's not for you. Like, it's so hard to explain those.
I recently moved my comic boxes from my living room to my bedroom because I didn't want anyone to drop any alcohol on it. You know, the parties and stuff, so just be sure, because Christmas is coming soon, and you know your uncle with a beer in the hand.
Hide them now.
That's going to help you score with the ladies, having all those comic books in your bedroom.
My comics are insured.
They're not in my bedroom for my comics, Chris.
Or you have to, actually, that's a good way to lead in. You say, "Oh, come into my bedroom and check out my long box."
Chris, you know, yeah, here we go, all night long with you and sexual innuendos, man. I don't know what to tell you guys about this. I apologize for this guy, but I don't know.
I didn't say anything specific. The fact that you understood what I meant said you're just as bad.
Hey, everybody knows I've got a dirty mind. I'm a soldier. I'm a veteran. All we do is talk dirty shit, man. So, but hey, definitely. What do you got there? Is that Flash? What number of Flash is that right
Flash
there?
Flash 123.
What grade was that Punisher you had earlier?
Punisher, that was a grade 6.5.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Marty, check out the link that I left over there, what I got.
I already did. I checked that out. That was
that's one of the books that got stolen from me.
What, this one?
When I see those books that you guys display, I kind of have these nerdgasms in my chair right here.
Okay, all right, hold on. All right, we don't want to disturb you here. All right, sorry about that.
Clean up on aisle 7.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, well, I have some Kleenex. Here we go.
I came to the realization that, and I think I mentioned this to somebody, I think today or yesterday, that, you know, I have a lot of books, but I don't have a lot of older key issues like I see right over here. A lot of the Spider-Man key issues I have, but I don't have a lot of these key issues like the Silver Age ones that you guys are displaying and stuff. And it's quite a shame because they're such beautiful covers and they're so, you know, historically iconic. I mean, it's just amazing.
Shame on you.
Well, I think about that too because I'm a huge fan of all of the like the Jim Aparo covers and things like that, and I'm like, why don't you just buy them? Like, what are you waiting for? But I just have a hard time justifying it. But I don't know. I feel like
I like the older artwork. I mean, like I said on the last weekend, I went backwards instead of forwards when I got into comics when I was young. I like the older books. And I always like the older artwork, so that's what I did. And these books that you're seeing, these are the ones that I have collected when I was a kid and when my dad brought me to the comic stores and we were just going for Silver Ages, and they weren't that much money back at that time. You know, like I said, the most expensive one I paid for was 9/7, which is the first appearance of Sinestro, and everything else was a couple of bucks. But this one I paid a lot for. That one I traded. I actually traded up on some old Silver Ages that I bought when I was a kid and paid absolutely next to nothing. and I think I gave the guy another $75 for like 3 Silver Ages and $75, and I got this.
First appearance of Supergirl right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and I was thinking too. I was like, you know, if I cut off my spending on weekly issues as much as I spend on weekly issues every week, and just take that money and actually put it into some of these key Silver Age issues, then I think I'd have a better looking collection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We spend so much money every Wednesday, and all it takes is for a month, hold that money, and then you can buy yourself a key a month.
Well, look at here's a good example. Look at Scooby-Doo team up there with Harley Quinn, right? Everyone went out and bought, like a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people went out and bought 10 copies of that.
Yeah, right.
At the same time, it had a print run of what, 12,000, which is super low.
Right.
However, if you were to buy, say, Green Lantern 1960, the monthly print run on one of those was 20,000, right? So it's more. However, there's way less in high grade because everyone who bought Scooby-Doo team up has it in high grade, right? So again, you go back to that whole thing. So yeah, if you saved your money on the Scooby-Doo team up, you could have bought, a $40 book, a Silver Age book.
I actually came close last night on eBay getting that Strange Tales 205, the first appearance of Deadman. It was ending at 3 in the morning, and I got sniped at the last second.
Maybe it's
this
Chris.
one?
Maybe it's Chris.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Yeah, maybe it's Chris.
That's how I get my deals.
If it was you, I'm glad that you got it. But I know I put in a $70 bid, which I really shouldn't have because I was really pushing it. But it closed almost to $90, and which is still a good price for that book. It was a decent shape, and it was supposedly from one owner. So I was like, you can't win them all, and you can't get them all. But like you said, if I would do 1 week without getting all the Wednesday books, yeah, that money would have went towards that book, and maybe it might have not cost me that much, spending what I spend during the week. That's why I'm trying to lower
There's so much great storylines
and what I get.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I'm always like, I'm gonna trim the fat on my pull, and then every time I go to do that, I'm like,
Something else
but I
comes
always
up.
fill it up. Yeah, and then I have regrets too. I have books that even recently I have books I'm like, why did I get?
You know what? Every time I watch Chris's channel and he tells me, get this is a scoop, and I'm like, God damn it, man, I'm trying to get out, and you're making me go out and buy this one now. Damn it.
Yeah.
I just feel that, if I cut back, certain issues, I could cut back certain issues on my pull list every week. But then again, I'll look, what if I'm, I'll be afraid to miss out on something sometimes, which kind of puts me where I'm never getting ahead on the things I want. I'm always taking 2 steps backwards on a lot of these older key issues that I've been wanting so much. Does anybody else have that problem? Are you guys like millionaires where it doesn't matter for you guys? Or you
I have that problem. I don't make that much, and I'm actually really putting a fine line because, like you said, I want to get out. And then when a storyline ends, it's like, okay, I'm going to take a break, and then something else comes up interesting that I want to get. And then I'm getting that. And then, I hear this and that, like the Squadron Supreme. I seen Chris's thing. Out of impulse, I just went online and ordered it from whatever. I ordered 3 copies and sent it to my house, and that was it because I figured, that's going to go, and I want to give one to my nephews because they're getting comics.
I think as much as YouTube videos are so helpful when it comes to seeing what's out there, it also can be harmful because you want to see, you're seeing these every week pickups or these certain pickups that you want that are recent, and it just, like I said, it just kind of puts me behind sometimes, because I have a list. I have like a wish list of key issues, covers that I've been wanting for quite some time. But then, like I said, every week, every Wednesday, I'm spending a lot of money on newer books that are coming out because, 1, I enjoy the cover line, 2, I really like the cover art to it, or I'm trying to keep my run going so I don't miss out on an issue,
I only buy. Sorry, go ahead.
My current pull list, I don't actually have a current pull list, and I never really did. I'm a sucker for event books. So when I pick up anything new, it's something that's concise that I can boom, boom, But I mean, I should have learned my lesson from Fear itself, and I didn't. And then I should have learned my lesson from Original Sin, and I didn't. And then Axis made me want to poke my eyes out. But like, you know, I started picking up my key books.
Oh, I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! But
you know,
I
started picking up a lot of my key
You
books
guys need to get a room.
pretty early on. I didn't want to just waste my time getting them. So I started rounding up.
Oh my God!
You know, there was nothing stopping me. You know, first Hawkeye. I don't have a lot of money, but when I started picking up all my key books, I was picking them up probably late 90s, early 2000s. You know, so the way to do it too is to just.
Gene, I'm gonna have to go change my pants real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, there he goes.
But you got to sacrifice. You got to limit yourself. Like I enjoyed Jeff Lemire's run on Sweet Tooth, so I picked that up. I enjoyed this a game I play called Munchkin, but I enjoyed Munchkin, so I picked that up. But following every single book, getting everything that came out, and what was the Batman series with the die-cut masks that came? It was just like 2 years
Death
ago,
of the Family.
Right. That was one of the things that, while the story must be fantastic, I just saw people pouring money and money and money. And, you know, just even more recent when I saw people do the whole Secret Wars thing, when I heard about it, I was like, I'm totally on board. And then when I saw all these issues coming out, I was like, I am off board. I am not onto this at all.
Yeah, see, for me, same idea. I have a small pull list, but I don't do variants at all. So no variants. Nothing like that. I just find the books I want to read, and then the rest of my collecting is focused on silver.
Do you pick up variants when you have the chance, if it's the same price?
Nope.
Depending on what the cover is, to me.
If I pick up a variant, it's usually by accident. Like I picked up a few stacks of, or a couple issues of Captain Marvel number 17, second print. I picked up a couple copies of that because I liked it and I love the art, and yeah, it turned out being a pretty good investment. And I flipped it and bought more silver. You know.
Well, let me ask you guys this: the ones that make videos, how many of you have a partnership?
I just started. I have no idea what the hell that is, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if it's
had
a partnership.
Like I've been on YouTube now making videos for 10 years, and I was asked early on to do all that stuff, and I was like, they would control my music and stuff like that, and I was like, no, I like being able to play my Boards of Canada, my whatever I want to without anybody.
Oh, you're from Canada?
Yeah, I'm from Newfoundland.
Ooh.
Because one of the things that I do, I actually have a partnership, and they pay me. I mean, it's not a large amount, but I use that towards getting more comics.
So how much do they pay you if you don't mind me asking?
What's that?
How much do they pay you if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the first month I got 60% revenue share, and then the next month, thanks to all my trolls that stalk my channel, they raised me to 70%.
Can I ask you something, Chris?
That's
at the end of the year, when how does that deal with taxes or something like that? Do you
Well, I've only been doing it for 2 months, so I don't know the answer to the question.
All right. I'm just saying, because as for me, I hate doing my damn taxes, and I don't need it any more confusing as it is. So I don't even know how
Why I haven't
even remotely even think about, hey, I'm gonna make these videos and have all these ads pop up, and then they're gonna give me a percentage or whatever.
Well,
but I don't want any more paperwork than I already have to do.
Right. I posted a link right there to the place that I go to, and I mean, I made only about $50 the first month.
Okay.
And about $60 the next month. But that's only the first month I started doing it.
Okay.
You could actually, after a year or two, you can end up making a couple of $1,000s a month, and then you turn around and use that money to buy more stuff and keep your channel growing.
Well, you know, while we all love money and stuff like that, my thing that kind of, and it's my personal thing is that when I started making videos here and just kind of connecting with people, I didn't have that connection with anybody in my circle, and so it was reaching out, and I found like, for example, you have to put up ads and things like that, sometimes little banners, and I'm like, I don't want to do that to them. I don't want to do that to them, and also the lack of creative control you have over your own videos. Like Kevin's videos, for example, are some of my favorite videos on YouTube. I love Kevin's videos. They're so fun. They're the Flash. It's awesome, man. They're amazing. One of the things I enjoy about making my videos is I like I said, doing the music and stuff, and I'd have to sacrifice that for a couple of bucks, and even if it's $50 or $100, you get into certain brackets of subscriber brackets, and then yeah, so you lose that creative control.
Yeah,
it should never be about the money, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't do it for the money. I'm just saying, like when people say, oh, they could never find a way to get books. There's always a way to figure out to get what you love. You just gotta put the effort into it.
The YouTube partnership with the ads and stuff. I don't put any ads on my videos, and each time there's actually ads, it's because of the video, you know, for the trailer. So the trailer company puts ads on my video to get money.
Right.
I personally don't have any ads. I don't have a partnership, and you know, I personally enjoy it more because I don't like having ads, and I don't want my subscribers to see ads, and I don't need any money from YouTube because I am doing it all for fun. And see, I just got a partnership recently, so I need to do an update video about it for the mic. I didn't buy that mic. It's a company that actually bought a mic. The guy bought me for $200 of new material, and he wanted to buy a new camera, and I just said, no, it's too much, man. I just know you, and I just did a podcast with them. It's called Comicsverse. They actually have a website with Greg Rucka, the guy who created Lazarus. Like an interview with him, a team just came out like this week, and overall the partnership is not money-wise. It's more like my experience, and they want to use my videos to put on their website, and at the same time I'm going to be a part of their podcast. And I don't think putting ads on your video is the best way to get money on YouTube. It doesn't pay that much, to be frank.
Well, it's called monetizing, and I think that honestly, if people would like to monetize their videos, that's a personal choice. I haven't even gotten to a point where I would think about that because I have 200 subscribers. But being partnered, I mean, these are all personal choices that people are making with what they're wanting to do with their content. I think that the idea that you don't have freedom with your channel is kind of an outdated idea, because I have another channel that's makeup related where I do have a partnership, and I have all creative content is my own. Like there's nothing, they have nothing to say about my situation. I would do. I just, like I said, to me it's not a goal for me to be partnered. It's nothing like that. But if this was something that someone wanted to take seriously and do as a career, because as you go on and on, you are investing a lot of time. And like right now, I'm at such a hobby. This is such a hobby for me and so fun, and I get to have like intimate connections with all of my viewers. But could you imagine having, you know, 500,000 subscribers where you're having to answer comments and be on social media, and you know, it's a full-time job, and I can see where people would want to do that. There's just such a huge dilemma between that. I think a lot of people question your integrity as a YouTuber when you start to get into partnerships and sponsorships and things like that, that it makes it difficult because it changes it from being just a one-on-one, me in front of my camera talking to you about this stuff, to being prompted, like, why are you saying this? Like,
I actually had to take off the monetization,
you know what I mean?
when I set up. You know, when I first did my first video, I looked at the video manager, and I seen the $sign lit. I'm like, oh Jesus, what the hell is this shit? I turned it off. I mean, you know, but I mean, it was only a 13-minute video, but you know, that's about it. But no, I hear you. I look at that as a fun thing, and I don't know. Maybe down the road I might think about that, and I may want to talk to Chris offline a little privately about it and how he does it and everything.
The funny part is, it's got such a bad stigma. I mean, everybody goes to work to earn a living, so if you do something that you love, and it can actually help improve it, because like Celia said, it can get, like my other channel, I have almost 20,000 subscribers. It takes all day to respond to comments on one video. So you're talking about, what if you can't work because you're putting the effort in to do the quality that people want? Right. So there's nothing wrong with being compensated for your time. So I don't want, it's not about being greedy or being a sellout or something, because like, for example, my other one is owned by Disney. my other partnership. And if you see my review on Disney on the Star Wars movie, I didn't all of a sudden say, oh, well, because I'm getting a certain amount, I'm going to now kiss ass. I'm going to be honest and keep my integrity. If they want to shut me down for being honest and using my integrity, that's fine. If it's when people pander to the people just to make money is when they're doing it wrong.
I don't think the real issue is monetizing off of it or making a bit of side change. And I totally hear what both of you guys are saying, Chris and Celia. But like, for example, Celia, in your makeup tutorial videos type thing, do you play any music or do you just use kind of?
I use music from YouTube. Right. I don't use anything that I don't have the rights to. Like, as far as
now, I
listen
to a lot of obscure bands like Perturbator and Boards of Canada, Godspeed You Black Emperor, and Deadly Avenger, and they all want a cut of their, they don't want me making money off their stuff, but I love their music, and it suits my comic collecting habits. So for that reason, that's why I'm kind of anti-monetizing. Like you said, to each your own. That's great, but I would much rather have, and as far as, like I said, creative control, your content is still your own content, but if I gotta listen to another, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Once you push that monetize button, you're under the radar because you get paid. So if you want to use it, I don't know. I personally really enjoy electronic music, and one of my favorite music, I always put it in the background of my videos, and because I don't get paid, well, I don't get. They don't flag me easily. I remember, Chris, you had a problem with, I think, Jessica Jones trailer or a trailer that Disney didn't want you to actually upload.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because I don't get paid, I got no fucking problem.
Well, that was my fault because when it comes to those kind of trailers, I'm not supposed to monetize them, and I forgot to take the button off because it's automatic. So that was my fault. So. All the others you can see because I realized that when you don't own the property of something, you're allowed to use it, you just won't make money off it, and those I don't care about. Right. But my thing is, when it comes to this, like, for example, what you were saying, Gene, I don't know, what's your name, by the way?
Don.
When for you, it wouldn't work because if you're doing music, then yeah, that's going to restrict. But like, for example, with my channel, I'm not playing any music, so something like that wouldn't really matter to me. So as far as control, I can pretty much, as you see in my videos, I can do and say whatever I want. So it really depends on what you're doing and what kind of goals that you want.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. I mean, I just think that there shouldn't, like, I don't want to, I don't see myself monetizing anytime soon with it, a channel, but this channel. But I just think that it's too bad that it gets such a bad rap for some people, because it doesn't really bother me when someone puts an ad. It's not the worst thing in the world. I can just skip it. But I think that it just, people feel like you sell out or whatever, which I can see is not the case with a lot of things. But I think that people should make videos the way that they want to, and collect the way that they want to without being under such a microscope.
I agree. And the people that call it a sellout, number one, they probably can't get it because they don't put anything out that would be worth it. And the other is, why do they care what other people do? That's what I never understood. If I wanted to do something like that, and it helps me and my family, and it helps me put out more content that people enjoy, then why should I worry about what some person who has nothing to do with me has to say about being a quote-unquote sellout or something? Because if I can make a little extra and it helps me get more books that I can show, it gives me more time to make the videos that people like, then I'm giving back. So I don't understand why some people say things like that, but some people just say it because it makes them feel better and sleep at night.
I tell you,
I agree. Oh, sorry. Go.
Yeah, my personal opinion, if they're going to pay me and this shit's free to do, then I'm going to accept your money. So right. I have, all my life I've been a soldier, and we know soldiers don't make a lot of money. You know what I mean? And we
really should.
And soldiers don't work for free either.
Yeah, we don't do it because we love doing what we do.
Right.
And that's just like this channel right here. I love making YouTube videos of the passion and things that I like, and by all means you see a lot of my statues and you see a lot of the books that I own on my videos.
And you got a
And
great
so
show, man. Great show you got.
Thank you, brother. Maybe Lazarus, the guys from Lazarus would pick me up too, make me some money as well, man. But I have no qualms about it, man. To be honest with you, if you're gonna pay me to do a specific thing, then that's fine. I don't know. Maybe I've always been under the thumb of some type of authority that maybe I'm just so brainwashed into doing what goes along with something. I don't fucking know. I mean, who fucking knows? But I will tell you, man. I mean, if my videos make money, my videos make money. That's okay. But I don't know. You tell me how to make money. I'll make money if it's an easy, legal, ethical, and moral way to do it. You know what I mean?
Marty,
Speaking about money, I've got a new comic book coming out in 2016. So when that comes out, I like to hop on here and hawk it.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man. You don't even have to ask that, man. You people can come to the show, and if they have any type of promotions or want to talk about something, you don't need my approval or my permission. You just say, hey, listen, I want to talk about something. Yeah, man, dude.
2015, me and my wife, we published our first comic book. 2015,
I only asked.
Coming up.
I only ask you at least send me one of them so I can read myself. That's all I'm asking.
Signed. Coming to you signed.
Yeah, you can either say it on here, Gene, or you can go to our Facebook page, Comic Book Fanatics, and post it on there as well.
Nice.
That's awesome that you and your wife wrote a comic together.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
this first time going through 2015, I had to step away from YouTube for a bit to work on it, and I found that my wife and I are like an awesome team that work well together, and it just strengthened our relationship through it. But we actually learned a lot about putting out your own comic book this first time around, and now we're ready for 2016. And this time, I have a story. It's really good, and I'm going to be pitching it to Boom. Hopefully, it's got that kind of tone to it, and yeah, it's going to be a dark comedy, and I'm really looking forward to it. So
that is freaking awesome, man.
That is
awesome.
Good luck with
that.
I'm happy.
Special epic. Come on.
When you get that out, let me know. I will promote it on my channel for you.
we'd all be happy to.
I'm just happy that you actually announced
has
it
more pull.
on here.
Yes.
Okay.
Exclusive.
Marty, is it alright if I announce something? Speaking of which,
I'm sorry?
is it alright if I announce something really quick here?
Oh, you don't need my permission, Chris.
Well, no, it's respect. It's out of respect. I just wanted to let everybody know that my comic book contest that I'm doing, the deadline to enter is tomorrow. And if people don't know about it, the contest basically, I'm giving away a bunch of comics, and all you have to do is donate a minimum of $5 to either like a homeless shelter or a place that people are, having problems with getting food or helping like stray animals. And the problem is my haters did their job and kept a lot of people away from that video, and all it's doing is hurting people in need. So if anybody wants to join it.
So is it just for people in need, or say like, because I donated to my cousin who passed away, I donated, because of cancer.
Basically, what I did for this contest is person had to donate a minimum of $5, and that's it, to either helping the homeless, helping the hungry, or helping animals.
Yes.
Because especially during Christmas time, there's a lot of people in need and a lot of stray animals in the cold. They don't have a place to live. So me, as a person who took in 3 stray animals, it's a way for me to help. And unfortunately, my haters, they want to hate me, that's fine. But to hurt my cause to try and help people in need, I think is a pretty disgusting thing.
How are these idiots hurting your...
I want to see that
I'm
cover.
just a little concerned. How are they hurting it? What, did they badmouth in the video or something?
I love Bronze Age Aquaman.
Well, I won't get into the major details, but one of the things by thumbing down the videos, it brings it down to the bottom of the list, so many people don't see
it.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know why people do that. People are idiots. I swear to Christ.
Yeah.
Sorry, but some people are really friggin' idiots.
Honestly, I honestly don't.
I think that's for a good cause, to be honest with you. And I actually did a small little video, and I donated. I mean, I donate regardless, anyways. You know what I mean? I try to definitely help other people out. So,
Yes.
by all means, if you guys want to check Chris's video out and everything like that, I think it's good. I mean, you know, it's nothing going to him. You know, it's actually going to other.
He's actually. I'm sorry. He's actually doing something. For you helping and watching the video, I'm going to give you this nice stack of comics. Now, I already gave to somebody. I gave $20 to the Alzheimer's Foundation to stop Alzheimer's and to find a cure. I don't want to enter because I got enough books, and I'd rather have someone else get the prize package that you got going there, Chris. But it's a really good cause that you got going, and I'm just shocked that idiot people out there would try to ruin the video or try to ruin so you can't get your message out to have that thing go. It just mind boggles me over the stupidity of some people these days.
Well, they're trying to
let me cut you guys off real quick. I've been an absolutely terrible host. We actually had Carlos from Silos Comics join us about 20 or 30 minutes ago, and I didn't welcome him on. And, I saw him there the whole time, but I know everybody's just been kind of talking and chiming in and everything. Hey, Carlos, welcome to Comic Talk, hosted by Comic Book Fanatics. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, brother?
Thank you, man. I've been watching you guys' show for quite some time. I subscribe to most of you guys. I learned a lot, and I mean, I thought I learned a lot already. I thought I knew a lot, but I learned so much more from you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure being on, man.
What's up, Carlos?
Carlos, welcome, bro.
We definitely appreciate you coming on, and I think that for the most part, I'm glad you actually come on because I think this format only allows like 10 people on or something like that. I don't exactly know, but I know you were saying earlier that you couldn't come on because it was blocking you for that. But I'm glad you could come on, man. I really appreciated that. And so let us know a little bit about what kind of stuff do you collect, what do you like, and feel free to chime in the conversation anytime, man. Just, you know, this is actually Gene Paul Ace. This is his first appearance. You know, this is also your first appearance. So you know, this might be a big hit right here, man.
Yeah, we gotta save this episode because we never know how much eBay's may want to buy this episode.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's 2 first appearances, man. You can't beat that shit. You know what I mean? So go ahead, brother.
36 years old. I live in Lower Manhattan. I hooked up with Big E last week. Talked to him a bunch of times over the phone, either heavily into Marvel and DC, also pick up a lot of IDW stuff, Image stuff too. Chris drives me crazy because a lot of times Chris will say, you guys got to pick this up, it has potential. So I'm like, all right, real quick, and I got to call my local comic shop. Hey, do me a favor, can you put this on the side for me, please?
I wish I made commission, I'll tell you. Yeah, but I'll tell you, that's
awesome, man. That's awesome, and welcome to the show, man. Feel free to chime in anytime you want to, man, because with such a big panel, sometimes you know you notice everybody's always trying. Everybody has like something to say about that conversation because sometimes the topic gets so exciting that you just want to kind of blurt out your opinion on that. But so by all means, don't feel afraid to or hesitant just to chime in whenever you want, and definitely cut Chris off whenever you want to.
I got an announcement. I got a quick announcement I want to make.
Sure.
Yay!
On Wednesday when I went to the comic shop, well, actually not Wednesday, Friday. This Friday when I went in the morning, I was speaking to the owner a lot, and I showed him the video that I made for Black Friday, showing the front of his store.
Okay.
And he was so happy with that video. He was like, "Why didn't you show me this earlier?" So he took my video, he put it on his webpage, and he tweeted it, and he did everything to it. And he told me that whenever I want to come into his store and film, that to feel free. That I don't even need permission. So because he has an area there where it's like a Carlos has seen it because Carlos met me there the other earlier this week. He has like a couple of sections where you can buy your books and you can sit down and read them and all that. He says you can do your weekly pool video right here, and you know, he said it doesn't even matter. So that's pretty cool for him to do that.
Cool.
So this week's weekly New Comic Book Day video is gonna be recorded at my local shop.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
And another thing, which I couldn't do it this Saturday, but there was some local writers there for independent comic books, and he says that anytime he has writers in there, I can just go in and interview them for my channel.
That's awesome, man. Because
without even hesitation.
I'm telling you, I've been trying to get artists and writers on my show for quite some time. I've reached out to some people, but they've always been so busy. But if you were able to go there and actually get some artists and writers, man, especially those name people, man, that'd be awesome for your show. You know what I mean?
He even told me he said Enrique, when Cliff Chang was here, you could have just came in and interviewed him right here live on your channel.
It would have been live. I guess it's exciting too.
Hey man, that's exciting, man. You know, I met like two up and coming big people today, man. You know, we got the interviewer and then the comic creator, man. All on the show right now.
And do you guys notice that this panel is 40% New York, so New York's representing in here.
That's right. That's right.
3 from Canada too.
Canada.
Hey, yeah, I know. You know.
Sorry.
Washington.
U.S. soldiers. Yes.
Hey, yeah. You know the new Carlos, man. I could swear you're a soldier the way you talk, man. Because you know I'm used to like a lot of the guys from New York. Ray knows what I'm talking about. Who come in the military, talk like you guys.
He's Brooklyn. You could tell.
Yeah. You know, I was just
no, Lower Manhattan. I was born in Brooklyn, but Lower Manhattan.
Like I said, I can always tell a Brooklynite.
Yeah. I was born in Brooklyn too.
Yep. That's where my family came from Brooklyn.
Yeah, my dad's from Brooklyn too. I'm
nice.
Long Island though.
Yep. New York representing.
We drink coffee while everyone else drinks coffee.
Oh, Mark, I just got that book, Marky. I just got that book this week. Yeah.
I got lucky with this one. This is before all the hype came, and I picked it up for I think $5.
Wow.
Oh, nice. I paid $10.89 for it.
Good. Cool. Very cool.
Did Marty go get more beer?
Yeah, I think so.
Also, I got my first Golden Age book coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And who inspired that, do I ask?
You know, it's you, Chris.
Chris, you're screwing up our bank accounts.
No, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys how much I paid for it. I paid only $29 for that book.
Wow.
You can get some deals on them now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole bunch that sold between $30 and $40.
This is one here. I live in Newfoundland in East Coast Canada. It's the oldest city in North America, and a lot of our a lot of our insulations, back in the day to keep your house warm, you used to put newspapers and stuff in, and this actually came out of my friend's wall.
We heard a story about who else found a wall book.
Oh, that guy that does the statues. He had an amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah, here's that too.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And I found a bunch of comic books or coloring books from the 1920s.
Wow.
I'm gonna go break out my wall. I'm gonna go break into my walls.
Yeah, right.
Go to the abandoned buildings.
That really happens a lot. I had a job I used to work at, a co-worker, and he came back and he said, yeah, he was doing some construction thing, and they found this old Superman Golden Age in the thing. It was really brittle. I mean, literally, I couldn't turn the pages. It literally was breaking up real bad. But I did put it in a bag and board and whatever. I actually used that to trade it to get some books that I wanted. So, unfortunately, I did that. But it was a golden age, but it wasn't like a serious golden age, and it was pretty beat up. So
With my luck, I destroy all my walls and end up finding like the death of Superman back.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That caliber comic book you got there, that's nice. The first appearance of the Crow.
Yes, it is. That's the first appearance of the Crow, and I've been debating whether to grade this sucker or not.
So you must be big on picking up rare books, low print books type thing like that.
I'm a more of if it interests me like the Crow, I like everybody else. I've seen the movie. I wanted to learn more about it, and I picked it up.
What about this one here? This is Cursed Pirate Girl by Sebastian. Is anybody into this one at all? Do they know about this book?
I don't not know. I'm sorry, but it looks cool.
Yeah, Cursed Pirate Girl. This is a work of love. Like the dude who wrote this and did the artwork for it. If you look at it, it's very illustrative, like almost like Victorian age style artwork.
Okay.
It's one of the most beautiful comics that you could probably come across. Very low print run. And this is one of my favorite comic books in my collection right now. I would pass up a lot of my Silver Age and everything like that to say for this one.
I kind of feel like that because I like some horror comics, and I really got, if you guys remember Chaos Comics, I really loved Lady Death, Evil Ernie, and all that. Brian Palullo made some great stories with that until everything got all saturated and everything. I loved some of the stuff that he did, and I got those first appearance Malibu comics that he did too. I was so in tune with those characters. And it had nothing to do with how big her boobs were or anything like that.
No, you take it like Lady Death.
But no, I related more with Evil Ernie and all that because I like my heavy metal and I like all that stuff. And just how he intertwined that story, it just got a little nutty when, of course, when I think Hughes passed away or one of the artists passed away in that grouping. And the stories just got ridiculous after that, and of course everything got saturated. But I like those. I like those independent ones if it interests me. And of course, The Crow was definitely something that interests me. And I got lucky getting that book. Actually, I got that book last year at a comic store that I go to out in Sayville. He gave me a good deal on it.
Nice. Yeah, Lady Death and Evil Ernie. They remind me I love artists that keep behind their title and they really push it. It reminds me of Dave Sims' work on Cerebus, Cerebus the Aardvark. And I love when you can see the passion or the title coming through. Yeah.
I also loved what he did with some of the things that I liked, which was he did the Michael Myers, he did some Halloween comics, he did Megadeth. He based comic issues on Megadeth songs, and I'm a huge thrash metal fan, so I was in heaven with that. That was just great to see the songs that I liked turned into comic book stories, and that was pretty interesting. And I wish he would have did something with King Diamond, because that's another band that I like.
King Diamond.
The band Slayer. The band Slayer came out with a comic book.
Yeah, that was I seen that. I don't know if that was remember those Rocket comics back in the day? They did all those biographies with the metal bands and the rock bands and all that. I don't know if that what was that about. Did you pick it up?
Yeah, I picked it up. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I get it. Hold on, give me a few.
All right.
Hey, while you guys are taking a little break and looking for books, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here because we have family in town. But I just want to say happy holidays to everybody, and thank you for having me on again.
Okay.
All right, Celia. Happy holidays.
Yes.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
this is the Christmas.
holidays.
This is the Christmas special. Merry Christmas.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, Celia. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
The Christmas special is going to be a video Marty does in a couple of days. That's the Christmas special.
Kevin, do you have to take off too, brother? I know you had said something you about to take off, or you still got some time.
Somebody silenced him.
His picture's frozen.
No, looks like he's on mute or something.
Oh, Marty's silencing people. It's censorship.
No, I'm not.
There you go.
A lot of background noises, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
hey, you know. No, you know what? I tell you what. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and say bye to Kevin right now, and then we'll probably keep this going for a few more minutes, and we'll go ahead and close out Comic Talk because we're almost running about 2 hours right here.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna.
Thanks.
Hey, Kevin, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
I think he left already.
Oh yeah.
What the hell with you?
He left
He didn't say
already.
peace.
You gotta hate those long goodbyes.
Yeah.
Chris, we love comics. Have you picked up your copy of Night Nurse #1 yet?
Oh.
I have not yet to get the Night Nurse #1.
Hey, I've been looking for that. I've actually been looking for Night Nurse. I heard it was a really good read. A lot of people don't know about Night Nurse, but that's actually a really good book from what I hear.
What about this book here? Anybody pick this up after watching the Jessica Jones? I've had this one for some
What issue
time.
is that
now.
one?
I actually.
I think I got that one.
Daredevil 232. This is the first appearance of Nitro or of Nuke.
Nuke.
I acquired the entire Alias comic run.
Yeah,
I picked up this one.
Nice. That's one of my favorite covers. I did a painting of that one time. Frank Miller work. That was my introduction to Frank Miller work, actually.
Nope, I don't have it. I got 231.
I have that cover. That's a really, really nice cover. Another one I love is when he's hunched over on the cross.
Yes.
I really love that cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous cover, I think, too.
Another one to get would be Daredevil 257, which is Punisher versus the Daredevil in that one. That'll be a key issue to get for the next season.
Yep, I got that one.
I am so looking forward to how he plays Punisher. I am looking forward to season 2.
Me too. I hope he does it right. Hey, I got a question for you guys. Maybe you guys know the answers. When I was younger, remember when those companies sometimes did reprints with some big key issues? This is the Oreo issue, mail away back in the 80s. I've had it. I kept it in good shape because I just knew, hey, you never know. And this one is the Action #1 that
I got that one.
I think a sleeping bag company. Now I didn't get this. My dad mailed away for it because I was a very little kid. It's a little beat up, but how much do you think, with the popularity now with comics and comic book movies, with these thinking of being valuable right now? These reprints, maybe like the first reprints that they did.
Yeah, they are. Those are valuable. The Action Comics #1. If you search it on eBay, raw, it could go anywhere from $20 to $50, even $60. But graded, you're looking at least $200 on it.
It's true. I don't think I'm gonna get a decent grade on the Action. Maybe on the Detective.
I have the Action Comics one. I have that one.
You have
and
this
I
one.
paid for about. This was I bought this a while ago. From 1988. I bought it for about $30.
Yeah.
It basically boils down to grade. If it's below 9s, you're not going to get major amounts for them, but they still have value to them.
Yeah,
I think they're gorgeous.
The paper is not that great either. It's like this yellow type of paper. It
Yeah, it's really thin. It's really thin.
Right. It isn't comic paper, so it looks.
But the good thing about it, the Action Comics behind it is the same way as the original book was.
Yes. I like them. I think they were cool, and I love promos and mail-aways. I think they're underrated. Those are underrated books to me because that was the only way you can get them, and at that time, not a lot of people got them. So if it's like a major character or a major superhero or a major storyline, and it was only available on the mail-away, I think that's pretty damn good to get if you can get it for a couple of bucks right now.
Here's a book that I think, I like to recommend some books as well.
Nice.
Please do.
This is one that I've told people for a long time to pick up. This is the first appearance of Nitro. This is the last Jim Starlin work on Captain Marvel. This is also the death of Captain Marvel. And, Nitro is one of the reasons the Civil War actually finally broke out was, just going and doing what he did to the New Mutants. New Warriors. This book, I love the artwork inside. Startlin's one of my favorite artists of all time. But the splash pages, everything, it's a beautiful book, beautiful Bronze Age book, and you can still find it for reasonably cheap right now. But, if you're trying to complete this run, or if anybody's speculating on books to get, or movies, or speculating on books that are going to heat up, this book in particular, I've been talking about it for 2 years, and it's going to take off. It's going to take off, and it should have a long time ago.
What one was that one again? I'm writing it down now. Look at this.
Captain Marvel number 34.
Marky's an addict. That's a comic addict right
Look at
there.
this. I'm writing it down. I'm not kidding. I'm writing this shit down.
The only problem is that Nitro is not going to be in the Civil War movie, though. They actually did that whole beginning. It's not going to be the whole New Warriors reason in the comic book. It's actually
he's a mutant.
Yeah, they're focusing it on the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still definitely a good book to have, but it won't be because of the Civil War, unfortunately. And I don't like that they're changing it. I think, in my opinion, why they didn't do the whole original story is it reminds too many people of what happened at Sandy Hook. Because of the fact that it was an explosion in Connecticut, it killed a bunch of school people, and I think that's a little bit too sensitive of the thing to put in the movie. So I think that's the main reason why they changed it the way they did. So.
And also, they probably couldn't get some of the rights and everything to like the other characters that made a major play in that storyline too. Like
no, they still own the rights for the New Mutants and everything. That's still a Marvel prostory.
But I'm talking about Fantastic Four and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, but that wouldn't have anything to do with the beginning of what happened in the storyline. The storyline is basically that the New Warriors were supposed to have this reality TV show, and they come across Nitro, who they underestimated his power, and he basically blows himself up, which basically destroys a school in Connecticut, which is what creates the laws, right? So I think in the sensitivity level of the political correctness these days, I think that's the main reason why they eliminated that from the movie, which to me is disappointing because it's a whole new reason why they're doing it now.
Marky, what book you got there? I know you wrote that one out for a reason.
Yeah, this is for Gene, Paul, and Chris. This is the first
Kiss.
appearance of Kiss in Howard the Duck.
Nice.
That cracks me up.
Carlos, what you got over there, brother?
This comic book that I had mentioned. If you look at the top right-hand corner, look what it says there.
I'm assuming it says not approved by the Comic Code.
Rejected by the Comics Code.
Oh, there you go.
That's metal, baby.
And then if you can see on the bottom, it says there, I'll just read it out to you. Rock and Roll Biography, Slayer, first printing, low print run.
Yes.
So this had caught my attention, and I was like, oh, shit. Let me pick this up, see what this is about.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Especially for Slayer. You know, but that's cool. I actually, I seen him like a couple of months ago. Jesus. Not as limber as I used to be. You got to still duck. Anyway.
I'll tell you a book that people should get that's still expensive but still has such potential is the one that Gene Paul was talking about earlier, the second printing of Captain Marvel 17. Because she hasn't even been in a TV show or a movie yet, and with her popularity growing, it's a matter of time. And that book, most people don't know how rare it is. There is actually less than 1,000 of those made.
Yeah, I sold off all 9 copies I had. I sold 9 copies.
Is that the first issue of Mystique? Mystique on there?
No, you're thinking of the 70s book. I'm talking about the one, Captain Marvel 17, the most recent one. That's the first appearance of Kamala Khan.
I sold off a lot of my books. I sold off. Basically, I've decided to go all Marvel, and I sold off the majority of my DC. I sold off my 2 copies of Batman Adventures 12 and my Deathstrokes and all this stuff, and I let go of all those Captain Marvel second prints as well.
I wish I would have known you for the Deathstroke. Oh, God.
Yeah. Right now, I'm heavily collecting more pre-hero Marvel. So
there you go.
This is the Jack Kirby. This is the prototype for the Watcher. This got some cool deco work in it as well. So that's Tales of Suspense number 35. Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to focus more on completing some of my Marvel runs and Marvel issues. DC, there's a few DC books that I'm keeping, which is like My Brother Power the Geek, Stanley and His Monster, You know, Dead Man, First Animal Man, some of the more odd ones, Shade the Changing Man, My First Swamp Thing, things like that. I'll keep those characters, but
I like the little oddball ones. They're pretty cool. You know, like you said, the Dead Man. I was trying to get. I like Dead Man. I grew up reading him, and I really liked this character, Boston Brand. So, and you know, that was one of my hit lists. This is another one since we're talking, you know, key books.
Well, before you show that, if you're interested, you know, just hit me up and I can trade it to you. It's not a problem.
Oh, all right, yeah, oh, definitely. Oh shit.
Hey, definitely, guys. I think what I was talking about earlier. I think this year, instead of focusing on buying the weekly comics, I think I'm gonna start probably trying to save my money, start getting these key issues like you guys got, man, because those are definitely something I have a passion for as well, and I think it'd be wonderful to have in my collection before they actually start going up in price, like, you know, they always do. So I think that's probably what I'm going to start focus on. So you probably see a lot less videos on Comic Book Wednesday for me when it comes to that. And any other recommendations you got over there, Gene, Paul, Ace, Peter?
Well, this is not a cheap book, but I mean, this is the origin of Thor, Journey to Mystery 89. Wow. Yeah, it's a nice book.
I gotta walk away.
Hey, I think you just gave Ray Jr. A little nerdgasm right there, brother.
Yeah, I know Ray was gonna react when he saw that book.
Someone mentioned Deathstroke, and one of the books I've been watching on eBay there, it's been jumping in prices. Teen Titans 2.
Yeah.
In the last year, it's really started to go upwards.
Spiked. It's spiked. I've been actually trying to get the second. Just getting a second appearance is getting a little tough to get now.
And if he's in the Suicide Squad movie, it's just going to go up further, right? But it's got to be in high grade. I mean, you can get 6.0.
Yeah, you got to get it in high grade. You know.
Marty and Ray, this is one book I think then, you know, the first appearance of High Evolutionary. He's an underutilized villain, and if there's ever a character that I think that can intertwine cosmic, this whole cosmic Guardians of the Galaxy and things like that, this is the one that a Thor key book that I love is him, and the first appearance of Ulick. Ulick is another one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Thor number 134.
Oh, I got that.
Yeah, that's a killer book.
I got that one.
Hey, Ray, can I have that shit, man? You don't mind, do you?
Ride the Mac of Kindness.
Some Journey to Mystery that I'm hurting for.
A lot of people look over is this one, Strange Tales 114. Now, of course, you know, everybody credits Avengers number 4 as the first appearance, Silver Age appearance of Captain America. But in 114, this is the first tryout of Captain America, and spoiler, you know, after the fact, but that's Acrobat in there. But yeah, this was to try out the character and see how people responded to him, because at this point, you know, war's over, you know, so things are good. Well, yeah, we don't need to talk about it, you know.
Yeah, because he started out in before Marvel became Marvel, they was Timely Comics. So yeah, he was in the 1940s. Yeah. So.
Amazing, beautiful covers, if you ask me, man. I would tell you, like I said.
Yeah, and then they redid his origin too.
My New Year resolution. Stop buying modern books and start focusing on the key Silver Age.
Yeah, get your Golden Age, brother. I got 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually just grabbed a Golden Age Superman number 57 for my daughter that was just born. It's got Lois Lane carrying Superman. It just says basically Lois can do whatever Superman can do. So I thought it was a good message for her. You know, she can do whatever Superman can do.
Do you adopt?
This is another key one that we all know about.
Some of these right here.
Yeah, I just got my 5th Golden Age book that I'll be doing an unboxing for tomorrow.
Nice.
I'll be doing an unboxing probably come Tuesday of my Army retirement gift that old Ray Jr. just sent me. Now, he won't tell me what it is, but evidently it must be good because he's been talking about it every day to me. So you guys need to stay tuned for that bad boy.
Strawberry Shortcake issue number 1.
I'm hoping it's a little pony, you know what I
mean? Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, you know,
You're another brony, bro?
Hey, now that one cartoon in the 80s, We Are the Littles, that's what I got him.
Oh, we are the little.
I remember that. I remember that.
Or how about the Snorks?
Oh, the Snorks. That was the
cheap
fake
version of the
Smurfs.
Smurfs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fake Smurfs.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, the GoBots.
I'm gonna
No.
tell you.
GoBots.
GoBots.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
Leader one.
GoBots.
I used to love
Yes.
the Dozers, man, from Fraggle Rock. Do you guys remember
Oh,
that?
Fraggle
I
Rock.
remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Listen right there, baby.
Down in Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
down in Fraggle. Yeah. I love the theme
The
song.
humanoids.
Man, that
Yeah,
guy's
the
the old man's
humanoid.
dog, man.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Do you remember who the Diggers were in the Fraggle Rock? What their
They're,
name?
they're the
Yeah,
Dozers, man. They're
Dozers.
Dozers.
Yep.
The Dozers.
All right.
That's correct. All right. What was the name of
Well,
the
see, now
dog?
we're talking about it. Fraggle Rock right here.
The
Oh,
name
there
of the
you
dog
go.
is Sprocket.
Fraggle Rock
Sprocket.
from Arcadia.
That's
Fraggle Rock.
awesome, man. You gotta love Fraggle Rock, man. I think I think at that time it was a they were trying to lead into kind of like with the Muppets. Muppets were big back then, you know what I mean? So they were trying to.
We got a new guest here.
But I love Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, the dog's name was Sprocket there, Chris.
That's it. Yep.
We want to join the panel?
There you go. New panel. New panel person.
Hey guys,
panel
listen, we're going a little bit over 2 hours right now. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off because I know you guys got a lot of things going on tonight. Spend time with your family, being at the holiday season and everything. But before we go out with the panel members we have here, I want to do final thoughts, and within your final thoughts, give a shout out to one of your subscribers that you guys want to promote, man. Go ahead, Big E's. Starting with you.
Oh,
brother.
you started me first.
Okay, we won't start with you. We'll start with Chris. I keep starting on that side because it's just like, start from the left. In military, we do everything from the left side, so I'm kind of used to that. We'll start out with Chris this time. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, basically the usual thing. I would like to tell everybody to check out my channel if you get the chance. Collect the comics that you love, and don't ever let anybody influence your decisions as long as you enjoy it. And as far as shout-outs, I could never have one particular person, so I want to say a shout-out to everyone that subscribed to my channel. You are all just as important.
Hey, come on, Chris. I said
You made me go first.
Yeah, I said shout out to somebody you want to promote their channel, man. Not shout out to the subscribers, man. I'm gonna come, you know what? I'm gonna come back to you. I'm not letting you off the hook that easily.
I give a shout out
back to you. I'm Walking Dead on the night, buddy, so you ain't going nowhere.
I'll
go next. You said shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out to if you haven't checked out one of my homeboys' channel is J.M.Hunter. He's an artist as well, so. Gene, you might want to check him out. He draws his own comic books as well. And then the other shout out is to the Amazing Merpinator. So go ahead and check out their 2 channels. And last but not least, I want to say everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Don't do nothing stupid by going out drinking and driving, because not only do you affect somebody else's life, you might affect yours as well, as in a family member that might miss you if you have that bad accident.
That's a good message, Ray.
Hey, Sergeant Major, is that your safety briefing for the weekend, Sergeant Major?
My safety briefing for the weekend is don't walk on my grass. That's what's going to be.
Hey, but they might not understand when you said grass, because the military grass is different from civilian sector grass. Okay,
well, check
man.
this out. I'll be sitting in a building, and then you got the grass that you cut, that you mow the lawn, and that's when, like, old Sergeant Majors, like old school, people walk across their grass and they come outside and they yell at you. Get off my damn grass. I think it's because at the academy that they make them cut the grass, so that's why they get mad a lot about, when they take over as a command sergeant major, that, people are walking on their grass because they're just.
No, you want to talk about old school sergeant majors used to make you cut the grass with scissors, man. So I tell you that.
Or
man.
the blade, or the lawnmower with just the blade, not the engine. Yeah, the push blade.
All right, Trevor, we didn't hear much from you tonight, brother. You were more like a bystander sitting on the side listening, man.
No, I piped in a few times, but
yeah, I know.
It's it's been a crazy week here with the new kid around and everything. So just a little tired.
Nevertheless, I really appreciate you coming on, even if it was just to be on and everything like that, because really solid guy, brother. You always have positive things to say every time you comment on our channel and everything like that, and just a really positive person, man. No negativity whatsoever. I can tell you have a passion for what you do, man. So just final thoughts and any shout outs for you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts are, I like your idea of killing the moderns and going for the keys. That's kind of what I do, and
yeah,
I mean it's awesome to look behind you and see, Silver Surfer number 1 9.0 or Green Lantern number 1 9.0. It's really cool to see that as opposed to having to dig through a box and look at your comics, right? You get the keys, display some of them, and it's great to walk into your room and have those right there.
I like that display a lot. It's really nice, dude.
Yeah, I agree, and I think based off watching a lot of people's video and especially watching. And I think it solidified it for me tonight after seeing a lot of your guys' key issues on the panel, man. It just kind of made me think, you know what? I think maybe I just need to stop giving up some moderns and just start focusing on a lot of the beautiful covers from the silvers, So I really appreciate that. But anybody you want to shout out to, brother?
I don't have any subscribers because I don't do any videos, but there is a guy on YouTube I found. He does some really cool Silver Age videos. I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly, but it's Note Rich, Noatrich, and he does really cool Silver Age stuff.
Awesome.
Spider-Mans and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, go check that out. It's pretty good channel, good information.
Awesome. So. Hey, appreciate that. And Mark, all right, brother. Hey, once again, appreciate you coming on, man. Always great having you on here. Great insight. So, final thoughts on you and any shout outs for not necessarily subscribers, but any channels that you want to help promote out there.
Again, thank you for letting me back on. I'm having a blast talking to you guys, and also getting a lot of information and writing down some more stuff to get. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. But anyway, no, this is awesome. And as for shout-outs, I did my first video just as a test to see how this would go. I don't know if I'm, it depends on my mood. If I have the time to do it, I'll maybe make another unboxing of what I got, or maybe might talk something off-topic, maybe some record vinyls. That's another thing I like too. So, other than that, as for channels that I watch, it random. I mean, Comics Explained. That's a one guy I watch if I'm having trouble with a storyline or I'm not familiar with a character. I usually watch one of his videos. AMC Heroes I like because you talk about comic book movies, and I love John Schnepp's work, so I like listening to him when he hosts that show. And also you guys, I watch Chris's channel, and I watch Comic Book Fanatics, and you guys are cool, and I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you and your families. Be safe, and I'll talk to you again next time.
Definitely, and I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing videos by you, to be honest, Mark, especially with some of the stuff that you showed tonight.
Okay.
I think I definitely would be very, very interested in seeing a lot of those talk-throughs about a lot of the books you have, the slab ones, unslab ones. I think that'd be wonderful, wonderful. I think you have a wonderful channel. I mean, by all means, recommend it to you, brother.
All right, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Gene Paul Ace Peter, man, another guy. Just first appearance on Comic Talk right here, episode 8, and he's actually going to be publishing his own comic book here within the next year or so, and he's always seems to be a devoted viewer when it comes to Comic Talk, because I always see you always talking or actually mentioning something or just putting some input whatsoever. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Final thoughts and anybody you want to help promote?
Final thoughts. Just remember this time of year, like if you find yourself getting low, remember to surround yourself with people and take comfort in your comic books and each other, and try and stay positive over the holidays.
Yeah.
And as far as collecting goes, try and stay focused. If you see a goal that you want, stick with that. It's easy to throw out a big net, but it's better to have a really good fishing pole.
Thanks a lot. Once again, I appreciate that, brother. Hey,
No problem.
and we had Silos, other words known as AKA
Actually,
Carlos.
I want to give a shout out to two people. I want to give a shout out to Bluntman 53. He's a good buddy of mine. He does a lot of horror reviews, VHS collections, and stuff like that. He's my buddy. He's awesome. And Collectors of Stuff. He's lately been doing a lot of videos where he's getting up and playing piano and playing some Christmas music. He's a real Monty. He's a really nice guy. He's awesome. He's got an awesome collection, and he's awesome. And then, of course, I want to give a shout out to Princess or Highland Princess, my wife. She makes videos too. So.
Oh, awesome.
Cool,
awesome,
man.
Awesome. All right, Carlos, it's up to you, brother. First appearance. Hey, guys, first appearance of Carlos on Comic Talk, all right? This is a key episode right here, man.
Which is the floor.
Quick, bag and board him.
Well, I want to say thanks to everyone. One thing I do want to say, when Chris had done an episode about comic books and with eBay, I was able to pick up a Dave Gibbons cover from the Dark Knight Master Race. At Midtown, they go for $50, and even on the website, you could get it for about that price. So I was able to get it for $6, and I bought 7 of them off of this one guy.
Damn! Nice.
Congratulations, I'm glad.
Yeah, bro. So just like Chris said, talk to the seller.
Chris, you're helping out, Chris. You know, your videos are working, brother.
See that? Now, that's why I get all the hate.
Haters are gonna hate. Don't worry about them.
Just remember, Chris.
You do.
Haters always hate and ballers always ball, Chris, and you're a baller.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, and I'm happy for you, man.
If I'm gonna give a shout out to anybody, definitely you guys, especially Big E. You know what I'm saying? He was amping me up to try to get to do my channel. I should be doing something upcoming soon, but definitely want to give a big shout out. The main reason why I buy all this stuff is pretty much for my son. I don't really plan on selling any of my stuff. Pretty much just give it to him, or if he gives me any grandkids, give it to them also. Let them do whatever they want to do with it.
Yeah.
Good peoples, brother. Good peoples right there, man. You know, I'm usually a really good judge of character, man. That's really commendable that you do that, especially for generations coming down, man. Awesome, brother.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Big E's, Enrique.
Final thoughts, just, everyone, like everyone's message, have a good holidays, have a safe holiday, and if you, like Jean Paul said, if you're down, surround yourself with family and friends, and there's good things to come to my channel, so look forward to some new things. I'm really excited about it, so I'm looking forward to sharing that with all of you. And as far as shout-outs, I want to give Carlos again a shout out because he's gonna have. I've seen his books, and he's got some nice stuff, man. He probably doesn't think he does, but he does. So look forward to that. I also want to give a shout out to Gary the Comic Noob. I always enjoy his commentary when he does his videos. And I got a contest video coming for you, brother. If you're seeing this. And that's it. And peace to everybody. All you guys on the panel. Make sure you guys have a good, holiday with your families.
I got my shout-outs that I thought of, by the way.
Hey, hold on.
It sounded like he had paper in his hand. I think he wrote some names down.
You ever seen me write anything down? Hell no.
Enrique, appreciate it, brother. All right, Chris, man, I ain't let you off the hook, brother, until you give me a shout out.
In the spirit of Christmas, and in the spirit of keeping my promise about wanting this to be about comics and doing my part, the first shout-out I'm going to do is to Don Comic Book Junkie. He doesn't subscribe to me, but in the interest of good faith and having the community try and see that I am not what people think, I want to give a shout-out to him, tell people to check out his channel. The other shout-out I want to give is to Jean Paul Ace Peter. Hopefully he hears this, because when I was going through some of the attacks that I was getting, he was the only person that actually made a video that like defended me when most people just ignore it, and I had to deal with all of the hate that I was getting for whatever reasons they had. And I wanted to personally say thank you for that. When I watched that video, literally a tear came out of my eyes, because I am used to standing up for myself and no one ever backs me up with anything. I always had to deal with things on my own. And for you to do that, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate it, and I will never forget it.
You're welcome, brother.
Thank you.
Nice.
Awesome, brother. And you know, I would tell you, Chris, I hope you and Don really, you know, you ain't got to be best friends, man, but I definitely hope you guys come to some type of common ground. And I hope eventually this really gets squashed, man, because, you know, I think I have a lot of respect for both of you guys, man, for what you guys do. And I'm subscribed to both of you guys. And I like watching both of your channels. I just hope eventually, man, that this can go away and just, you know, dissolve eventually, you know.
Well, to talk about that just briefly, if I may. What's happening is now coming from my old channel. It has nothing to do with the comic book community. That's why I don't even say anything anymore. It's troll channels that get paid to harass. So as far as, I think they took advantage of the conflict I was having with some of those people, and they jumped in and escalated it to a different level. That's where all the hate came from.
Can you block them?
It doesn't matter. They actually will, like Marty has even had this happen, where they will contact you and make up stuff about me.
I'll just hit the delete button. I don't really give a damn. The people like that just deserve to just go out into the shed and freeze to death. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
I like that mentality right there. I like that mentality.
The hell with them. I don't care what their opinion is, and they shouldn't attack people who are trying to do something that they passionately love. And if you're out there, the hell with you. I don't care.
Yeah, so as far as like with Don Comic Book Junkie, I sent him an email. Unfortunately, he has yet to respond, but as far as I'm concerned, I have no issues with the man. I wish him the best. Even if we never communicate or anything, I wish him nothing but success, Happy New Year, and I hope people will go to his channel so people can go there for the right reasons, and that is comic books.
Yeah.
Hey, much respect for both of you guys. Like I said, I really enjoy a lot of things that both of you guys do, and amongst the panel members as well. I really appreciate you guys coming on here and being a part of the panel members. And I really hope you guys have a happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And also, we'll meet again next Sunday if you guys can join us. It'll be after Christmas. So I hope you guys can actually come on again prior to New Year's, and we'll talk a bunch of nerd stuff, because I am not going out for New Year's or anything like that. I prefer to stay away from the hype and drama and everything. But the shout out that I want to give out to is I recently started watching a channel, and he's been trying to catch up on a lot of the videos and a lot of things that I've been doing, is Archangel. And I will tell you, that guy comes up with some amazing finds for cheap, man. Some key issues, and he does it with his wife, called The Wife. I think he calls her The Wife on the video, but it's just a wonderful channel to watch. His wife is very bubbly, so it's very fun to watch. It's overall a great type of family show. And also want to give a shout out to all the soldiers that are deployed out there during the holiday seasons who cannot be home with their loved ones, with their families. I have been on that other side where I've been gone for the holidays. I've been gone for for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and everything like New Year's Eve, and it sucks. It really sucks. But they think nothing of it. They go out there and they do what they do. And so I want to give a shout out to them, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Stay strong, brothers and sisters. You guys will be home soon, and keep your head down and definitely keep your chin up. And also, I definitely want to say to the veterans, man, hey, it's a tough time during these seasons right now. You guys keep your head up, keep your chin up as well, because if you guys don't know, about 20 veterans a day commit suicide. 20 veterans a day commit suicide. I'm speaking statistically right here.
That's no joke, dude.
It is no joke. So I just want to say to a lot of veterans, if you guys get a chance to see this or anything, keep your heads up, brother. We've all been there. We have a lot of love for, and everybody support. A lot of people support us. They may not support the government. They may not support the ideology of a lot of things that are happening politically. But it's not about that. It's about supporting each other.
People.
Yeah, it's about people, and the person that's in the foxhole with you, who are watching out for you. That's what it's about at the end of the day. Okay, so that's my final thoughts, guys. And once again, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and have a happy holidays, have a Merry Christmas, and hopefully I'll see you all next Sunday.
Happy Kwanzaa.
All right.
Happy holidays, guys.
Happy holidays. Peace.
Happy holidays, gentlemen.